All right.
His set is on fire.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Eh,
where last we left off, Delgrim had stormed into the Melody of Stars and, standing in front of the startled Queen Lacerania, began to sing. The song, a plaintive tune speaking of loss and heartache, brought the melody to a halt, and as the last words tumbled from his lips, the Queen stood, a grotesquely large smile spreading across her face. She offered the dwarf a dance, and as he accepted, others stepped forward from the crowd, leading the rest of his companions in a twirling journey through the massive room. As they tried to see where their friend was, however, he could no longer be seen, cloaked in darkness as the Queen. Well, we're not sure what happened between the Queen and Delgrim until he appeared again, locked in a kiss with her. The dancing came to a halt, and Delgrim, now free of Lacerania's arms, joined the rest of his friends as they finally made their way out of the Melody of Stars. Exiting the strange place, the group suddenly felt the weight of exhaustion settle upon their shoulders as they staggered through the streets, heading back to their inn. There they discovered 5 days had passed since they left, and so took some time to rest, but not before Delgrim advised that he had made a deal to retrieve the heart of the song from the Tower of Skull Thord, and in return, the Queen would give them the moon and free Tiernan's mother. The following day, the group decided to split up, with Tiernan wanting to find out more about the Fae, his mother, and potential ways in which to pass through the forest of Faefair, unmolested by the Fae who lived there. Delgrim and Bee, having similar thoughts, headed to the Hymn of Wine to talk with Nimbus, the information broker, to see what insights he could give. Meanwhile, Rowan and Miera went shopping, terrorizing the poor proprietor of the store Precious Things, and Grumpfel went to the Tree of Life and Loss to pay his respects. It was Bee, after striking a deal with Nimbus that required her to give him a single breath, that a fellow called the Violet Man could possibly help them in their journeys through the forest, and that he could be found at dusk and dawn. As she returned to the inn with Delgrim, Delgrim disclosed that a part of the deal that had been made with Lacerania involved him dying. Grumpfel made his way to the Tree of Life and Loss and there met the Dryad and Priestess Callista. Being careful not to disclose too much, he inquired about the strange book he had found, and after finally showing it to her, she suggested that through powerful blessings, she could help him learn more of the strange text. Guiding him to step into the waters beneath the massive tree of the temple, Grumpfel felt the waves of divine magic wash over him, and was beset with strange images of robed figures and a montage of events. But what was even stranger was the main figure who Grumpfel watched writing in the book he was now holding, was talking of the old Swerfneblin himself. With the images rushing through his mind, the figure even reached out to grab our cleric, startling him before finally plunging him into darkness and leaving him with the words, I am not much longer for this world, Grumpfel Greystone. Soon you will have to choose. Grumpfel, you blink and you find yourself standing, the water up to about your just below your knees. The giant tree that's the central part of this temple still directly in front of you. The book in your hands as you first held it when you went into the waters. And you can see some of the snakes, some black, some white, that were twisting around the trees. They appear to have come down when you have been wrapped in these visages and these visions, but they're moving back up. And you can see Callista standing off to one side, her holy symbol of Kamatayon still clutched in one hand, as the last words of the spell leave her lips. What would you like to do?
How does Grumpfel feel in the physical sense? Does it make him feel exhausted or anything like that? There's no
It
price
is.
of what's happened.
It's
It
more of an emotional burden than anything else, and that would be up to you how what he has heard has
Okay,
impacted on Grumpfel.
cool. Yeah, I just
Physically,
wanted to
you
make sure. I
still
just wanted to check if there was a mechanical.
feel fine.
Yep.
You are just as tired as you were beforehand.
Yep. Wow. He
The
kind of is still like Grumfel was holding the book, not Callista, correct? Correct. Yeah,
correct. Yep.
that's right. He's careful not to drop it in just that moment of disconnect. Um, and looking down at the where the book is open, is it set to a particular page, or is it the last words that were spoken just then?
It is. It's on. It's actually. It's like the last page is flipped over, so you're basically looking at the back cover of the book.
Okay. And was it anything written in there, or nothing's on that
You,
written on that?
the words, literally the words as you saw him writing, you can now see in the book itself on that last page.
Right. So like Grumfel's name is right there in what was said.
Hmm.
Okay, that kind of what I'm looking for is that's a physical thing to say like I did. It wasn't just like some weird dream. It was like okay, that really did happen
You
because
look into the
I'm
book, and exactly those words that he was writing are in there, in ink, on the page.
Grumfel stares at book.
Callista like glances over at you and goes, did you learn anything interesting? You certainly there. I mean, I was focused on the magic, but is everything all right? Or
Um, that was that was a strange but wonderful moment. Uh, Not since my calling have I felt something so strongly connecting me to Kamataeon that it was. And like if she looks, she can see that like there's a little bit of there's some weeping, like he's like it's he's moved, he's been moved by what's happened. Um,
she would walk over to the edge of the pool and actually offer you a hand so that you can kind of scramble
yeah.
out of these waters without risk of
So
dog in the book or anything.
yeah. So
Um,
Grumpfel he'll look again at the at what's written, and it's very quietly and slowly and reverently close the book and kind of hold it, cradle it in one hand, and with the other hand, take her hand as a sort of an offer to help out of the water. So, there's no face planting and water damage to the book.
mhm.
Um, and he's going to look at and the fact that like his feet or whatever, I don't know whether I can't remember whether he took his shoes off or whatever like that. At this point, he doesn't care. He's kind of, it's a weird feeling of like he's got a weird feeling of having spent energy, but at the same time gained energy. So
Yep.
it's this weird kind of not a buzz is the wrong word, but that
Yep.
almost out of body experience type thing. Yeah.
Callista says, I'm the experience in this kind of magic is between the holder of the item and the item itself. So it's not my place to ask, but I certainly hope that you've learned more from this very unusual text than
I
when you first arrived here.
in matter of fact, I have it has answered a few questions and left me with more. But that is not. That is not a bad thing. It has left me with questions to myself answer and seek the answer. Um, and I thank you so much for allowing me this moment of contemplation. have you anyone here in need of healing? Or I feel like I would like to give back to your house of reverence by way of some of my gift. If you
No,
have.
no, Grumpfel. It is. I mean, we are both members of the same religion. It is. I'm just happy that I've been able to assist you in this situation that you find yourself in. Uh, I mean, you're always welcome to stay here. I mean, we sometimes get people pass through with minor injuries or ailments, but there's nothing at the moment. But perhaps it would be a good idea for you to just take some time and sort of settle with these experiences and these thoughts that you've got. But
um
you're always welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to return to your friends and then come back at any time. I mean, I'm always more than welcome to receive you into the temple here.
Uh, Thank you. How long at Vision was I? What is the hour?
Oh, only but a minute passed.
It felt much longer than that. Um, okay, so it's kind of still early morning, mid morning.
Still exactly the same time as before. Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally, like hardly any time has passed at all.
So it's not like he has to scurry off. All right.
No.
I thank you. Yes. Just a seat in which that I can sit, contemplate, and should the need arise, happy to help anyone who finds their way under this roof.
And she nods and gestures again to a couple of places for you to sit. How long are you sort of intending to stay here for?
Oh, look, he's gonna sit there, maybe look back through the book again, half hour at the most. If anyone
Okay.
wanders in and there's some healing, he definitely wants to help with that. Feels like that
Okay.
um a spiritual donation, if you will, rather than leaving money with her. Because a place like this, I think that is more of a thing to be done than rather than dropping a few coins on the way out, which you probably might do anyway, but
Sure.
offering that
Okay.
help.
So with that, you spend maybe sort of 15, 20 minutes here before you finally leave. Again, Callista bids you farewell
Yeah,
again,
he will give her one of the deepest bows.
at which she returns and she reiterates you and your friends are always more than welcome to come to this temple if you have any need of Kamatayon or Maisha, then I am here to serve you and your friends. And with that, you you head off, make your way back through the city of Wildport to return to the outside inn, where
One small thing he would have said when next through, he will let her know a little more of
sure,
what has happened, that sort of thing.
cool.
Cool.
So with that, for the sake of expediency, you find yourselves all converging at a similar-ish time back at the outside inn. As a group, having returned from your various bits and pieces that you were doing. The inn itself at this time of day is not super busy. But yeah, what would you guys like to do as you all sort of reconvene together as a group?
Pretty sure I'm still up at the bar.
Mm-hmm. And like Pippi is constantly sort of coming backwards and forwards and um chatting with you as much or as little as you want.
Pippi, was it the proprietor? Or
Pippi
Yes.
was one of the like one of the barmaids there.
yeah, great.
The hobgoblin, or
Yeah.
I was going to ask if they're wearing like long tights of any description.
Fucking hell, okay. Delgrim
Now
will
I've got that song stuck in my head. Thank you.
Delgrim will sidle up next to Tiernan, order both of them a drink of some kind, and ask Pippi for directions to is it Dusk and Dawn?
Yep, Emily's nodding.
Dusk
Um,
or dawn.
Dusk
I
or
don't know
dawn.
whether I don't recall whether that was the time we had to go or the name of the establishment.
I'm pretty sure it's the name of a place.
Okay, great.
And Delgrim will certainly assume so in asking the question.
And Pebby actually looks at you and goes, is that a place? I've never heard of it. Dusk or dawn? I mean, is it new? Is it like someone opening up a new bar? Do I need to talk to Grayson because like someone's opening up some more competition nearby? Like, is this what? Where did you hear about this? What? I don't know about it.
Yes, it's a very good idea to do exactly that. That is supposed to host someone called the Violet Man, who I wish to speak to.
Oh, Violet. No, he's not at a place called the Dusk or Dawn. People only ever see him at dusk or dawn.
This place is insane. I truly hate it here. I cannot wait to leave.
It kind of makes me a bit sad. I really like it here, but I mean, I suppose it's not for everybody. But, I mean, look, if I can help, like, if you go to the gardens, then you'll probably find him around there. You'll often find there'll be like a group of the fair folk, often kind of hang around this. They kind of worship's too strong of a word. Not like they're not like, oh my god, you're a god, but it's like I don't know, like fans, I guess. So, I mean, if you go to the gardens, which is a part of the city, and she gives you some directions, and just sort of look for a group of where the fair folk are maybe convening, there's a couple of like small like park areas and stuff like that. You might find him there. It's probably your best chance. He doesn't sort of stay in any one area, from what I know.
He's not another Fae, is he, Delgrim?
It would seem so, Tiernan, yes. But this is one that may be of some assistance in small matter of little adventure we must take in aid of helping you.
Well, at the moment, we don't seem to be getting anywhere with the Fae at all.
I have gotten somewhere, and we have a direction and a location, and perhaps if we successfully retrieve this item, you can speak with your mother free of whatever cloudiness is in her mind currently.
Is that
That
what
is-
you and the Queen were doing?
Yes.
That she's just gonna burn you, Delgrim.
If I get a little bit burned for sake of you being reunited with family, so be it.
Didn't ask you to do that.
Did not have to, Tiernan. There was opportunity to help you. I took opportunity.
Plus, there's worse things than getting burnt, I guess. And B will like sit at the bar and probably would have been really quiet for the rest of our walk back. And we'll order a drink and immediately swallow the entire thing.
Excellent.
Amazing, outstanding, excellent.
That's all I wanted to tell. That's it.
Cool. The rest of the group, as you're hearing these conversations and stuff, is there anything that Rowan or Miera are wanting to sort of do or chime in? Or if not, what is the group's next set of plans?
Miera will, if she's heard the conversation about Delgrim and Tiernan talking about the deal, she would lean in. Speaking about deals, we did find a place that sells diamonds, Grumpfel. But I
Look,
didn't have enough money.
I'm flattered, and I think the age gap people might talk. Wait, what?
And then for your special diamond, the one that you may potentially need. But I didn't have enough money to get it, so I don't know whether anyone else in the group might have enough. But also speaking of deals, because I'm happy to tell you all about my deal, but Delgrim, can you share the details of the deal that you've made so that we know what we're on the hook for?
First, how much is this diamond that Grumpfel wishes for?
300 gold, but I could probably get it cheaper.
What do you need the diamond for? Grumpfel?
It is the physical price to pay for a spell that is selected by the followers of Kamateon who follow the path of life, such as I do. It's a spell that it takes a very steady mind and faith, and it enables myself to snatch someone back from the jaws of death.
And
Should-
it just puts his hand into his bag and pulls out 100 gold. Just hands it over to Grumpfel. That'll help.
Yeah, look, it was a discussion that I had with Miera, because I did ask her in Harrow's brain fart. Harrow's what? Harrow's End. Harrow's Rest. Harrow's something.
Darlene's
It's
Rest.
Harrow.
That's the
Darlene's
one.
Rest or Harrow.
God.
Yeah.
The
Harrow.
number I have
Harrow.
dialed is
Harrow?
disconnected. God.
Yeah.
Darlene's Rest.
And-
Yeah. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Grumpfel's blue screen.
yeah. File 404, Swift Nebulin not found.
Yeah.
Well, how short were you, Miera?
A lot short.
I was asking at a shop, and Miera asked what it was for, and I told her it was more of me preparing maybe for a situation that I would not want us to get into, but being prepared for it if it eventuated.
Well, here's 100 gold, Miera. Hopefully that will help. Well, that's a third of it.
B will also quietly pull out 50 gold. Put it on the, slide it down.
Delgrim will drop 40.
Big spender.
I'm so poor.
I mean,
I'm also poor right now.
Well, you only need 10 more gold and we're done.
300 gold.
Yeah, three. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I have some gold that I can put towards as well, but we could it helps all of us. So as long as I'm around to perform it, it will inevitably help one of us. Come to think of it, not me, but that's neither here nor there.
So you've got 190 gold so far. Is anybody else contributing to the diamond fund?
Grumpfel has 50 of his own to put into that.
Okay. So that's got you to what, 240?
240.
I will put in another 50.
That's got you to 290.
Well, see, didn't you say you could bargain with this gentleman? See if see.
Close enough,
Yeah.
and Tiernan will pull out another 10.
Cool.
Yay.
Like I said, I mean, yes, like getting it sooner rather than later is good, but it's make sure that everyone is not putting themselves in a position where they're short.
So with 300 gold now secured, are you going to go and score this diamond?
Well, no, because I still haven't had a response to the question I asked.
As for the deal, Miera, we basically we go get this heart of the song from this lake of the place, take it back to the psychotic Fae Queen, and then she give us the moon, which we can use to pay for journey to the Empire, and also she release Bluebell, or Tiernan's mother. It seemed like a good deal. Seemed like absolutely no reason to not take it.
So you get
Well,
two
that's
things
good.
for one thing.
I get the impression one thing is of significant value to our new friend.
Has anyone heard of the Heart of the Song before?
Yes, it is object we are going to track down and retrieve and give to Fae Queen.
No,
I
you
mean,
have
if anyone
not,
heard
Tiernan.
of it before.
No. None of you would have heard any reference to this before.
Okay, well that sounds fairly reasonable to me. Miera will just duck off back to
Wait,
the
Miera,
shops.
before you go on new shopping adventure, I will point out while we have everybody here, retrieving this item will require travel away from path through dangerous Fae-infested forests. So there is much risk and much danger, and I do not expect any of you to feel compelled to join me on this journey.
Honestly, Delgrim, giving me the chance to actually shoot a member of the Fae would cheer me up immensely.
How many Fae are in this bar currently?
Oh, well,
Not
I mean,
none.
considering,
Not none.
considering hobgoblins are considered Fey adjacent, there's possibly one or two. It's the inside. So the outside in is generally where people who are not Fey, however, go. But in saying that, this is also where you basically have the Fey groupies come to. So when you say that, John, you certainly get some very ill-advised looks. Although some, it's very hard to tell because a number of them are also still wearing their masks. But there are a number of heads that turn towards you. And Pippi, who has sort of been sitting nearby providing and drinks and stuff, you can sort of see her sort of wince as you say that.
Sorry, Pippi. Poor choice of words. I meant more. Meant more along the lines of the members of the court. It seems to be that they have complete control of us, yet we don't get any of the same sort of treatment back.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to like sort of listen in or anything, but you were all talking pretty loud. It sounds like you've got a pretty sweet deal to me. I mean, if you've got to go and get this thing, and you're going to get all the stuff that you want, I mean, that seems pretty fair. I mean, going into Fae Fair is probably not great, and the Fae can do whatever they want to once you're off the Twilight Road. But I mean, like, not all the Fae are bad. I mean, some are terrible, but I mean, a lot of them are just. It's just different. It's just a different moral code. And so if you like I said, if you're open and if you're honest, if you don't tell any lies, and then you might be okay. It'll probably be okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And I mean, like I can see you've got like all of you've got weapons and like axes and you
Hey,
all look
Pippi.
kind of tough.
Pippi.
Yeah. Hi.
Speaking of things that we want,
Yeah.
I would really like a round of drinks for me and my friends.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
could do that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, look, yeah, sure. And she, sort of now distracted, she goes and grabs a bunch of wine for you all.
Great. How much does that set me back?
That'll be what? There's 6 of you, so 6 silver pieces.
How much? Sorry.
6 silver pieces.
Could you say that again?
6 silver pieces. And can you make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, please? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. No. Yeah, great.
Roll the 6.
Yeah.
I will. If it's a bottle that's brought over with like glasses, I'll pour everyone a glass. I won't ask. I'm just gonna pour them.
Yep.
One for everyone.
Delgrim will throw his back like just entire glass in one hit.
As will be. And if there's any left over in the bottle, immediately pour a second round for anyone whose glasses are empty.
Grumpfel will take a sup.
Yep. God damn it.
This is out of character behavior for B, right? Like considerably out of character from what we've seen.
I don't think we've really been in a situation like this. We've been to bars before, and she can definitely drink.
But I don't think I've ever seen her like shot back shots before. No. Can I I don't know how you want to do this, Ham, but Rowan is like, this doesn't seem normal. Can I suss that general situation?
You can insight check me.
If you're
Yeah.
happy with that, then that's fine. Like,
Yeah, roll.
So
I
like,
was just
see,
gonna ask.
see if
No,
it's like
Rowan
warming
doesn't
up
wanna
to the
bring it up
group
yet.
or there's something bad.
Rowan doesn't want to bring it up. Rowan's
Nope.
just sussing the situation right now.
Make a roll.
What'd you say? Insight?
Yeah.
15?
15.
Hamish, I need you to like memorialize this, put it on a plaque, because this is my first nat 1 of the campaign.
Wow.
Because I usually
such a
roll
baby.
really
So Rowan has
well.
spent a lot of time with Bee in the very early hours of the evenings.
It's a total for 3. It's a total for 3.
Cool. Sweet. So look, I mean, Emily, B is your character. What non-verbal cues and insights would Rowan pick up from what she observes with this behavior from B?
Really good question, because it's tough. We've spent a sizable chunk of time together now, right? Because travel time took up a fair chunk of time.
We do a lot of the evening being on watch.
We've done a lot of
'cause we don't
evening stuff
sleep,
together.
so.
Yep. We haven't been in very many establishments like this together is the only thing I'd say. But that being said, there would be genuinely something, I guess you could read, that is annoying or upsetting to be. You're not a mind reader, so you can't tell what. But like, there is something that is like bothering her.
Yeah. Cool.
Very evidently to you.
Rowan's gonna just like probably literally jump up onto the seat next to you at the bar. She's short, like it's not. And
as
like,
one of the only tall people in the party.
Yes, exactly. And get you sort of pour a glass of water from what I'm guessing is a giant like jug at the end of the bar type sitch, and just push that in front of you at the same time as you're doing as many shots as possible. She's not going to deal with this knowledge now. She's going to deal with this knowledge once everyone else is asleep.
And I feel like B wouldn't be necessarily throwing back shots. It would more be like actual glasses of wine. So much like Emily in real life. Just throwing back glasses.
But just too much too fast for what Rowan's seen before. Yeah.
I think she would like take the water and just, similar to real life Emily, have the tiniest little sip and then forget that it existed and push it away.
Rowan is going to continue to just push it back into your frame of view. Like, this is your glass of water.
I think you might only
you at the middle of the night.
I think you might only see her drink from it like twice.
Amazing.
Well, B, I know why I'm drinking. Why are you drinking so heavily?
Well, I think that it has been a really long journey. It's been a long time since we've been in a place like this, and who I can drink if I want.
Right, you had to leave all your friends behind.
Yeah, fucking hell. As you say that, almost sort of like very slowly, this board that's got a freshly baked loaf of bread and a little thing of honey, because it's still sort of morning, just sort of slides into the periphery of your view, B, and as you see Pippi kind of like slide some food over towards you, and you see beyond her Grazen, who is the hobgoblin proprietor, sort of look at Pippi and give like a little nod of approval.
I didn't order
Rowan
this, so
gives the same nod. Rowan gives the same nod of approval. Like,
and Pippi
I didn't order this. I'm not paying for it, so you can take it back.
And she goes, "Oh no, it's on the house.
It's on a board actually, but I don't want it."
Delgrim will reach over and grab a bit of bread.
Ooh, free bread.
Okay.
Grumpfel will make motion that he'd like one, and then he'll hold a silver piece or whatever. That sounds
So
like
more bread gets provided, which would be like enough food for everyone to be like a silver piece. It's not a lot.
I also don't need anyone to take care of me, if that's okay.
This is made.
And I say that to Pippi, not to Rowan.
and Pippi goes, "Oh look, it's not so much trying to take care of you. It's just as one of the proprietors of the Outside Inn, we have a responsibility to our patrons to make sure that if they drink too much alcohol, that we also supply them with food, because we don't want people getting too inebriated, getting drunk,
Well,
going.
who are you to tell me
courts.
what is too much?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
fine.
it's often just kind of, it can be sort of dictated by behavior, and like sometimes you can tell. And
Am I misbehaving?
just-
I feel like I'm behaving really well.
no,
It's
Rowan's
RSA. It's RSA, guys.
Rowan's going to put her hand
Give Pippi a
on,
break.
on Bee's shoulders. Like, thank you, Pippi. I think Bee is saying she's fine, but I'm glad you're taking your job and your responsibilities seriously. Like,
I'd
she's
also
just
like
trying
to
to
point out,
pour
I've
water
only
on the situation.
three glasses. Like, have you all seen Tiernan? When he has too much to drink, why does no one shove bread and water in his face?
Pippi,
I do.
Pippi, I think we need another bottle. And here's a couple of 6.
Delgrim will hold up to make it 2.
Rowan just goes, I do try and play with water. He doesn't drink it. That's not my fault.
at this time, Grazen comes over and puts one very large, reassuring hand on Pippi's shoulder, and says to the group, well, it's very early for this kind of indulgence, but I am going to say that I will provide one more bottle for the moment, but I don't promote my patrons getting too inebriated at this hour of the morning.
It's morning?
As Pippi was
Do you
saying,
like gold?
Yes, it's
Do
morning.
you like earning money?
as Pippi was saying, we have a responsibility here, as often people travel from here into the courts, and going into the courts with the Fae whilst heavily intoxicated is not always the best of ideas. So, one more bottle, and we'll even say this is on the house, but then we'll just we'll leave it for another hour or two. After that, we'll go from there.
I assure you,
Whatever.
I am truly so absolutely and completely exhausted. I intend to have a few more drinks. I am going to then go to sleep until dusk-ish.
Yeah,
I
don't
guess.
worry. Grazen, was it?
Mm-hmm.
We've trust me, have no intention of going back into the Fae Court anytime soon. And I'm pretty sure after the Court of the Court of the Moon, we're not going to a Fae Court anytime soon. Anyway, if we were to go back into a court after going to the Court of the Moon, we'd be idiots.
That's entirely your choice, friends. But for the moment, here's another bottle of wine. Enjoy. More than happy to provide you with more food as required, and we'll see how the rest of the day plays out.
Listen, Grazen, before you go,
Yes.
and before I drink myself into stupor to go to truly such a deep sleep, I am very poor at the moment. Is there anything in this place, and also we're going into Fairfair Forest, is there any opportunity for a small group of enterprising individuals to perhaps make some kind of financial gain on such a trip into Fairfair when we make this journey?
But you mean like a bounty, Delgrim?
That would be my personal preference, but there may be other opportunity. I know not.
Grazen frowns slightly, and replies, "It's not many who are brave or foolish enough to actually venture off the Twilight Road into the into Fairfair itself. In regards to the likes of bounties, I'm conscious that, as per the Accords, if a Fae is caught breaking the rules, they can be brought back and a bounty claimed against them.
Brought back to where?
Brought back to the courts here. The chorus themselves will judge them and see whether they're fit and whether or not the Accords have been broken.
Which specific court?
As in the chorus. So the 4 courts that you have been in.
All of them?
All of them are ruled by the chorus, which is the kings and queens of each court. They come together, and they are the ones who essentially, shall we say, police the Accords.
And how would one arrange a gathering of this chorus to assess whether or not the Fae has broken the Accord?
Oh, I mean, that's comparatively straightforward.
Really?
Oops, I've typed off the wrong thing. Hold on.
Please enjoy this hold music while our
Yeah.
DM fixes his error. See, it's contagious.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that I already told you all about the chorus, but that's okay.
There's been a very
Wow. Someone needs a nap.
Okay. Sorry, I completely, absolutely had clicked off the
fine.
wrong page. So essentially, if you head, so there's a section of the city called the Bailey. You can go down there and lodge for the tribunal, which will then bring together both the chorus and the fair council, and they will ascertain the situation and whether or not the accord has been broken. And if it has, then reward will be deemed appropriate and paid as required. The Fae take the breaking of the accords incredibly seriously.
It's straying off the Twilight Road. Does that count as breaking the accord, or anything you do whilst you're off the road could be construed as a breaking of the accord?
If anyone is to leave the Twilight Road, they are no longer bound by the accords.
Right.
You travel the Twilight Road, you are within the sanctity and the protection of the accords.
So if you were attacked while on the road,
if you're attacked while on the road by Fae, then yes, in theory, they are breaking the accords.
Tiernan, I don't know what your plan is for the day, but perhaps it'd be a good idea for you to find a girl.
Tatiana. She believes she went with the Fae folk.
Don't we have a bit of the Doula Hound still in the bag of holding? Could we
Miera,
turn that in?
Miera.
Aren't you going to buy a
Door
diamond?
handle. Wait. Did you say you stuck a door handle in the bag of holding, and
There's
then
something in the bag of holding that
he'll
could
kind of
potentially
peel.
get us money. It would save us having to go out and look for something else.
Miera, that on its own may not be very useful. However, a corroborating witness such as the girl on the road could potentially be quite useful. So yes,
I'll see if I can find her.
If someone want to retrieve the girl and perhaps go to this Bailey and ask for a convening of the Fair Council and Chorus, then yeah, perhaps we can gain something from this.
Pippi, have you seen Tatiana around? She was a member of the Fae folk, or is there a member of the Fae folk I can ask to find one of their members?
I mean, there's probably about 5 or 6 people walking around, but Pippi says, "Oh, I mean, she sort of points at a couple of them, but it's like you've got to realize that the fair folk, like there's not like 10 or 20 of them. There's like hundreds, if not thousands. So
Yeah,
they don't. Like not everyone knows everybody else."
Oh.
I tell you what, Tiernan, tonight, later tonight, I'm going to gardens. There are likely to be many of the fair folk around. If there is someone who knows Tatiana or where she is, it's likely going to be there. But first, again,
well, I'm going to ask the ones in the inn first. But yeah, okay.
Go for
wandering
it.
off and just starting to
Absolutely.
talk to any of the Fae folk and inquire whether or not they know Tatiana, because we dropped her off here.
Delgrim's going to down his drink and then head up to the room to truly divest himself of this remaining point of exhaustion. Just have a good night.
I think B would wait like 15 minutes after Delgrim's done that and then do the exact same thing. Like down her drink and then fuck off to her own room.
Okay, so with that, first things first, John, roll a d20 for me. Two? Cool. You ask the 5 or 6 people who appear to be fair folk based on their garb and stuff, and none of them have encountered this Tatiana person.
Okay.
But they do say that like a lot of the fair folk do reside in the gardens, which you're now getting to understand it's not actually necessarily just a garden, it's actually like a quarter of the city. So, with people wanting to have rests and stuff to try and get rid of this final point of exhaustion, is there stuff that people are wanting to do in between now and then?
Well, yeah, Miera wants to go on a shopping trip part 2.
Mary, you want to go and get that diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the sake of expediency,
Yeah, let's just say I went to the shop. He gave it for 50 gold less than 300. Everyone was good, and I've got store credit as well. Great.
you go there, and the town guard have been called already because of the highway robbery you guys committed last time, and Mira is arrested and never seen
full
again.
price last time. Thank
Tara
you,
ran off
sir.
with 300 gold.
I did. You didn't.
Can't wait to see Cass's new character. No, 300 gold for the diamond. There'll be zero negotiations around that.
All right, 300 gold for the diamond.
Anything else anyone is wanting to do?
Have we found Tatiana?
No.
No.
I will send a message
Yeah.
and ask her to come back to the inn, or let me know where she is.
She says she's happy to meet you at the inn that night. Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Sorted. So I will let Tiernan know that Tatiana is going to be coming back this evening to the inn.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to her then.
Cool.
Is that before or after dusk?
We see
This
that.
evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, Rowan, is there anything that you're wanting to do amongst all of this, or
She's gonna find because she doesn't sleep, right? So she's just gonna find herself like a big armchair that she can basically sit in while everyone else is off doing whatever they're doing in the bar itself.
Yep.
So she can keep eyes on like the kinds of people who are coming through, like, you know.
Yep.
She's deliberately playing nice throughout this time with Pippi and because she's like, guys, we can't piss off every bar that we go into. We've gotta have places we can go later. Like, you know, bonding over, oh, how many times have you had someone that you've tried to give water to? Because she's spent enough time in the pub back home. She's
cool.
like,
So you observe a cavalcade of individuals move through this place over the time between when your companions will go and crash out and when they finally sort of emerge. Predominantly, it is the fair folk who come through here. You do get some regular patrons, but they are few and far between. But it's a comparatively busy place. It's fairly steady business wise. And it is truly fascinating seeing the collection of individuals that pass through here. The garments, the clothes, the masks, just everything.
She's probably done the occasional like compliment on some fabric, that kind and like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And look, you probably would have like at one stage or another, they would have been, someone would have sat down and had a little conversation and chat with you and stuff like that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, which fair court did you go into? Oh, was there anything fun? Chat. Like,
Perfect. Love it. Grumpfel, was there anything that you were wanting to do, or are you just going to kind of rest as well?
So some are going up to the room, some are staying. Who besides Rowan is staying down in the common area? Everyone else is going back up to rooms.
I think the intention is everyone else is going up to rooms to try and rest and get rid of that last point of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Functionally, I'm doing the same. I'm just like, I can do that without sleeping. So like.
Grumpfel's just going to sit down in the tavern for a little bit and just thumb through the book for a little bit, and just reread, especially the last couple of pages, and maybe have a bit more of the bread and honey, and maybe a coffee, and then head back up to the room.
Yep. Cool. All right. Okay. So, Tiernan, you were resting as well, yeah? Yep, cool. So, you all sort of reconvene back in the common room just before dusk, which I believe was the intention. So Tatiana is not here yet because the message was for her to come that evening.
Good one, Miera.
Fucking hell. Spicy
Send your own messages.
Yeah. So, with that, what is the plan?
Straight to the gardens, I guess, and Delgrim's gonna start hunting down any appearances of this violet man in that area.
Violet or violent?
Violet, but I'm
Oh, that makes a lot more
quite
sense.
sure both apply.
Hard same.
Okay. So, you all head off into the night or into the early evening as the sun just begins to set and dusk settles across the city of Wildport. The gardens is a fair walk away, and it takes you probably half an hour, 45 minutes of wandering around, but with a little bit of question asking, it becomes quite apparent that this individual is well known in this part of the city.
Mm-hmm.
You get fairly quick directions, and you find yourselves in what is a very, very small park. There are some tall, beautiful trees making a very small grove, of which in the center of it appears to be a fairy ring made out of large mushrooms. Standing in the middle of that ring, you can see a very tall and pale-looking elven figure, wearing what appears to be fairly simple garb, tunic and breeches of deep red, very sort of functional shoes. Very good quality though. Longer than usual ears, suggesting that he is probably an Eladrin rather than just an elf. And he's got golden hair, which is pulled back into a simple ponytail. And as he sort of turns and he's talking to a bunch of fair folk who are essentially sitting in a circle around him, you can see as he turns, sort of addressing them, talking to them quietly, he has got these incredibly deep violet eyes. He's got one of those sort of like little half cloaks over one shoulder, and you can also see that he has cradled in one arm a harp. And as you get closer, you can see that it sounds like he is reciting a poem or something to this group. And there's probably maybe a dozen of these fair folk sitting around, and like they're all like sitting looking up. Those where you can see expressions where their faces maybe aren't fully covered by masks and stuff. There is like a look of sort of awe and reverence on their face.
What's the poem?
The poem is one.
And can you sing it, please?
Look, I was going to, but
We know you can
Hey,
sing.
last.
Don't edge us.
got some. Look, I will not be doing anything of that nature. Thank you very much. This throat sore.
Oh, yeah.
Roll a deception check.
Natural 20, and with a DM's modifier, that's 9,463.
Hot.
So, and look, I rolled that with disadvantage as well. So, the poem itself is a poem which it's talking of a single tree, and it's strange in the sense that there's something that the tree is given a number of elements of almost sort of the human nature, the way it sways and moves in the breeze, the way in which as autumn comes, the leaves fall, and that sense of almost loss. And it's quite a moving poem, and you can see some of the fair folk, kind of reach under a mask and wipe away a little tear. And as the poem finishes, he looks over at the six of you, just gives a small nod of acknowledgement.
And I think Delgrim will look over at B and just kind of like nod his head in that direction. I do not think after recent unsuccesses with speaking with the people around here that I should necessarily be having these conversations. Perhaps Rowan, Miera, like it would be. I cannot find myself accidentally making another deal with someone in this fucking city, okay?
It's okay, I'll do it.
No.
I ignore Delgrim and I walk straight up to this violet man.
So,
And I'm gonna say, as I guess Delgrim has spoken, the poem is finished. I'm just gonna say, that was really beautiful.
he again bows very deeply,
I'll do the same.
and he says, "Thank you. Hey, thank you.
No, thank you for sharing it. I think, stuff like that takes vulnerability, and it was really nice to listen to.
You're new here.
Mm-hmm.
You and your
Friends.
interesting group of friends.
They're not that bad, I promise.
Are you here to listen? Are you here for other reasons?
Here to listen. I'm here to learn as well. I'm sure there's some stuff that you could help us out with also, but that comes with time, I guess.
What are you here to learn?
Well, you said we don't look like we're from around here and that we're interesting. What do you think we're here to learn?
I learned a long, long time ago never to assume anything, especially based on someone's appearance.
It's not an assumption, though, if, there's calculations that are involved and an evaluation of things that I've said. It's not an assumption. I've now come over and spoken to you.
Even then, it's something I just choose not to ponder upon.
That's fair enough. Would you like to meet all of my friends?
I would love to meet all of your friends.
I'm just going to gesture over to them all if they haven't already followed and be like...
Yeah, Delgrim will head over and mill about.
I will also hold out my hand to shake it to him and say, I'm B. Or Beatrix, but you can just call me B.
He takes your hand, and he has very long, delicate fingers, and his skin is slightly cool at the touch. It's like when it's a hot summer's day, and you just get that slight cool breeze that plays across your skin, which just it takes the edge off the heat. It's exactly like that. And he bows again to you as he shakes your hand, B. He says, "Pleasure to meet you, B." And then he turns to the rest of you and walks down the line, starting with Miera, offering his hand to you.
Meera will take his hand and do a little curtsy and say, I'm Miera Greenleaf, member of the Mystic Delirium.
Well, after he gives you a hand to shake, he does, at your courtesy, he does a slightly more exaggerated bow. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miera of the Mystic Delirium. And he turns to Rowan.
Hello. I'm Rowan. Like that's it. That's all you get.
Yep. Pleasure to meet you, Rowan. He turns to Tiernan, again offering his hand.
Tiernan takes it, and he shakes it rather stiffly and looks him in the eye and says, Tiernan Dapalan, visitor to the city.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Tiernan, visitor to the city. And he turns to Grumpfel. Same thing, offers his hand.
Grumpfel will hold his hand out and shake it. I am Grumpfel. I am a follower of Kamateon. As I journey across this great hallowed ground, I take a look at the weave of those around. I follow the way of the genteel dark. This way on my life leaves a blessed mark. And he gives a little bow.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Grumpfel. And then he turns to Delgrim, who I'm assuming still just kind of like milling around awkwardly.
Yeah. Awkward's probably not quite the right word for it, but he's clearly refraining from directly engaging as much as possible. But presented with a hand, will absolutely shake it. Gently. It won't be like an aggressive kind of.
You're not going to hack his hand off?
Not yet.
Not yet. As you take his hand, the others had that sensation of a cool breeze. For you, it's icy cold. Almost uncomfortable, but not quite. It reminds you of the touch of the cold stone deep below the mountains of the Gloomwrought. And as he takes your hand, his eyes fix on yours, and for a moment they widen. And then he very gently reaches down with his other hand and just places it on the side of your face. Almost like a fatherly kind of caress. And he says, you remind me of someone. An echo of a memory lost in the time before the wailing sorrow. A sacrifice made of night. A sacrifice made of love. And my heart yearns as the world around us was torn asunder and the light shone through. And now, as he sort of gently takes his hand away, now I live between what darkness binds and that which shines, the dusk and dawn of things. And before me a person who reminds me of it all. It's just a memory, and it will once again fade. Life fades. Your name, sir?
Delgrim Harrowfell. And though I know not of this echo which you speak, that which shines will blind us all.
Pleasure to meet you, Delgrim. That which shines will blind us all.
I'm not very good with rhymes, so all I can do is these little things you see.
It's been a long time since I've heard any phrases like that. And then almost he sort of seems to sort of break from whatever memory he's having, and he turns back to you, B. How can I help?
I'll be honest, we are looking for something, and we were told that you might be able to help us out. We're looking for the heart of the song. Is that what we're looking for, guys?
Hmm.
I wasn't there for that episode. Wait, no, I was.
Yeah, that is right. We'll.
So B didn't say that. That was Emily.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Yeah. that'd
Just
be
having an
perfect.
episode again. Just ignore her.
that is correct. Yes, heart of the song, Tower of Skull Thord.
Sorry,
And
I get confused between the moons and the song, and here we are. Hey.
hey, get good.
Sorry, I just took like 10 emotional damage.
Wow.
Yeah, so B says the heart of the song. And Delgrim shuts up.
You seek the heart of the song.
Uh-huh.
What help do you want with finding it?
Well, we were told that you knew a lot and that you might be able to help us, you know, find our way to it. And I look around at my companions now for like, okay, B's kind of like, I've done a lot of speaking. Someone help.
He turns around as you're kind of like halfway through what you're saying, or almost. It's not disrespectfully, but it's like someone who's almost slightly distracted, and he wanders back over to the little fairy circle that he was originally in. And a lot of the fair folk have kind of all sort of moved off to the sides. They're kind of lingering and sort of watching what's going on. And he wanders off as you're sort of talking, and he turns around as you finish. And he just sits down on the ground and crosses his legs. And says, I know where to find the heart of the song. I can give you directions if you like.
Yeah, that would be great. That would really help us out.
Is there any trick to getting it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's located within the Tower of Skull Thord, which no Fae is capable of entering, but then you are no Fae, so perhaps you will be the ones who will be able to succeed. But in saying that, you'll also have to pass through the forests of Faefair and cross the Lake of Forgotten Names, and you'll be stepping out of the bounds of the Accords.
Why
Rowan,
can't the Fae go there?
the Fae, the ground around the tower is deemed hallowed ground, which means the Fae simply cannot cross onto it. And on top of that, the tower itself is made completely from cold iron, substance of which is highly resistant to my kin.
Okay, thank you.
What value is it this heart of song would have to Fae? What is this thing that is so thoroughly inaccessible to your kind?
The heart of the song, well, here we're starting to get to information which some may deem valuable. And as is the way of the folks of Wildport, this is where one must begin to talk about deals.
Sadly, that is not something I am personally interested in, so I guess I'll just have to retrieve it as requested, and that be that.
Very well.
I'm
Looks
happy to trade something for some information.
Miera, I promise you, you may not necessarily be happy at the trade. The price of trade may be too much.
She will pull out a cookie, 2 cookies, one of which is one of her special cookies. Her
Still trying to weaponize that special cookie.
yeah.
I thought weaponizing it was putting glow moss on it.
These are the best cookies in all of Paldorn. So special that they have made nobles weep and poor men rich. And they can be yours for the small price of a tiny, tiny piece of information, which is literally just words.
Make a persuasion check for me, Miera.
Rolled a 14 plus 6.
So 20. Okay, good. Dirty 20. Okay. The Violet Man extends a hand.
I'll give you the cookies.
Who made these cookies, Miera?
I made the cookies. I made them.
Who has the recipe for the cookies, Miera?
I have the recipe. Well, yeah, we'll say I have the recipe.
Miera. In exchange for this information and the cookies, may I have the recipe as well?
Delgrim's just violently shaking his head no to Miera.
I could give you a version of the recipe.
I don't want a version of the recipe, Miera. I want the recipe that you have just so wonderfully spoken of.
Perhaps you'd be interested in something else.
What else have you got to offer?
I have an interesting story you may be of interest.
What is this story that you speak of, Tiernan?
Of a dying dragon deep underground, turned to stone. And freed.
Make a persuasion roll for me, Tiernan.
Oh, where's my sheet? Okay, so that's 12.
Well, I will take the cookies and the story in payment for information on the heart of the song. But for now, Miera, I will let you keep the recipe. Although I would love to have it one day. It would be wonderful, I feel. Such a creative endeavor, this.
I mean,
Tiernan.
the beautiful thing is with recipes, they're written down and they can be shared, you know, with everyone. So it's not just like you have a recipe and that you're the only one with it. So it's just so you know, that's how usually recipes work.
Sometimes you have to listen to entire story before you're given recipe. Very frustrating.
Tiernan, regale me with this tale. And I'm not going to actually get you to do that now because that would be a waste of time.
Thank you.
I will, however, get you to roll a performance check. Now, this is one of your group telling the story. Is anyone else going to provide any assistance in any form to this?
Can we all contribute to that with the exception of B, who wasn't there, unless she wants to just make stuff up?
Rowan is going to suggest, Rowan is not going to contribute, but mostly because Rowan's contributions would be not conducive to this going well.
Yeah, and on reconsideration, yeah, no.
Rowan's going to not talk because that is her supportive way. She's going to look real interested, and that's about the support she's able to give about that.
Would I be able to assist by casting enhance ability?
If you would like to, absolutely.
Yes. I would like to do that.
All right. So you weave this magic to enhance Tiernan's
charisma, so Eagle Splendor.
Okay, Eagle Splendor.
And you have advantage on charisma checks.
Awesome. And can I also use my flash of genius and use my magical tinkering to conjure up imagery associated with the adventure?
100%. Hells yeah.
So
Guidance wouldn't help here because that's stacking of same bonuses.
No, you can throw guidance in there because it's something different again.
Sweet. Would you humana boom?
Oh my
So
god! Can my little gingerbread man and dancing lights just be dancing like around Tiernan?
Wow,
Just added
okay.
So
Alright.
hold up. What's the guidance? Give me again.
D4.
Other than the producer behind the scenes choking and gasping for air, no, it gives a D4.
Okay.
So it's concentration. Target can add a D4, roll a D4, and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice.
And
it
Miera's
can roll.
ability gives
It
me
can.
advantage on charisma checks.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 13
So,
plus 2 for the guidance, 15 plus 1 for performance, that's 16 plus 8. So 16 plus 8, 24.
Cool. That was rolling with advantage?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
the other one was a 9.
Okay. All right. The collaborative storytelling of which takes part here is impressive.
I want to also add that B hasn't heard this story, so
Yeah.
she's engaged the entire time. Like,
So-
whoa.
The story will be centered around Asmodana, the fall of her empire, alone, the splintering of her mind,
Mhm.
and then being found and discovered by a sorted group of adventurers
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
saved. And now she stands deep within the mountains, waiting for friends and people to share the remainder of her life with.
And just in case it wasn't clear, Delgrim isn't helping with this. He's staying out of deal making as a general thing.
So you, Delgrim, and anyone else who's sort of also maybe slightly on the edges and maybe not participating quite as much, you notice as some of the fair folk actually kind of come in closer and start to listen to this story as it gets told. All of them entranced by the tale as it unfolds, by the extra imagery provided by magic, all of the supplemental activities that this group is doing, weaving quite the tale. And at the end, the Violet Man stands up and actually gives a clap. And all of the fair folk around actually all start clapping and go, wow, that was so good. Oh my God. And did you hear the part about blah, 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 and this and oh my God. And yeah, like absolutely entranced. And the
Peter
Violet
will take a bow similar to the Violet Man. Did we actually ever catch his name?
It doesn't have a name.
That's the
Yeah,
name
that's
that
his
we
name.
have. Yeah.
Okay.
and he says that is one of the most impressive stories I have heard in over 100 years.
Also quite true.
That was truly entrancing. And as a man of my word, I shall reciprocate. The heart of the song was once the heart of a great fae called Rolalis Galedrine. He was one of the most powerful members of the Fae courts hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when there was still much conflict between those of the Fae and those of the people of Tilworth. I'm not sure how much you know of these lands, but the Fae did not always reside here. It was the time of the Wailing Sorrow in which they were torn from their home in the Feywild deposited in this forest. A traumatic, crushing event, ripping them from their homes and bringing about much conflict. There were many wars over time between the people of Tilwith and the people, or I should say the Fae of Fayfair. One of the greatest battles and one of the turning points of this conflict was the Battle of Starstruck Oak, in which Rolaris was defeated by Filgarius Skalthord, a powerful sorcerer. And it is said that Filgarius cut the still beating heart from our Fey King and embedded it in amber, where it would still slowly beat. And took that and locked it high in the top of the Tower of Skalthord, in the center of the Lake of Lost Names. Some claim that it was a mockery to the Fae. Some claim it was the only way to bring around the forming of the Accords. But it is said that the heart still lies there, beating, hoping to once again be returned to the Fae. What the Fae will do with the heart, no one is to know.
I believe my question was of what value is the heart to your kind? Is it purely sentimental in this way?
There are many stories. Some say that if the heart is returned, that Rolaris can be brought back to life. And there may be implications of that. Some say that the powerful Fey magic that he had can be transferred from that heart. But these are stories because no one has ever touched it, ever since it was taken and locked away deep within the tower. Some say that it is purely sentimental and that his children and his children's children wish the return of the heart, as anyone would want the return of something from someone they loved.
If we are successful in retrieving this heart, do you think it would be wise for it to be in the hands of someone, say, like Lesorania?
Lacerania.
Do you think she would, if the stories of its potential powers turned out to be true, do you think she would misuse these, or would
It makes sense that Lacerania is the one who asks for the heart, considering that she is Rolarius's daughter.
Indeed.
What she may or may not do with it is of no consequence to me.
Speaking of consequences, I will leave this entirely up to you. If Tiernan's story is of significant enough value to warrant perhaps one more small piece of information. We were told that you might perhaps be able to offer advice on what one might do if one found oneself in a deal with a Fey being of significant power. What one might be able to do in order to work around the finality of such a deal.
Oh, often I have heard that question. Delgrim, there is no working around the deal. Once a deal is struck with the Fae, the deal is struck. There is no working around. There is no changing. This is why it is said that you speak no lie to the Fae, for they take things like deals and oaths with the highest regard. If a deal is struck, the deal is struck until the end of time.
Well, here's a question then. Can they be renegotiated?
Interesting. I have never encountered it, but I would doubt it very much. Unless one was to offer something of significantly higher value. But that, of course, is entirely subjective. Some, like we've done right here, our deal was as simple as a good story. Others strike deals of giving away their names or favorite memories. Gold, wealth, items is of no consequence to the Fae. A song, a poem, a lingering kiss, an experience. That is often what the Fae will favour.
You have been very generous and kind with your sharing of information. I thank you.
The story that was given, it's been my pleasure.
One final question, if I may. Do you have any advice for negotiating when you're negotiating with Queen Lacerana?
Advice.
Topics not to mention, things not to try, things to try. What is she like?
It's not something I pay any mind to.
Thought I'd ask.
And that's fair. I've walked these lands for thousands of years. And very little is of consequence to me these days. Now, is there anything else that I can help you with? B, you were talking about wanting to learn something. Was this still something you were interested in?
I mean, if you think you can teach us anything that might help us, then I won't say no. Seems like you know a lot more than me, at least.
Oh, I can guarantee I know more than you.
I won't argue with that.
But when it comes to learning, I need to know what it is that you want to learn. I can teach you how to play a simple instrument, teach you how to sing.
Oh no, no. I don't do that. No, when I say I like to learn, I just like to learn about people's strengths. And I guess I try to learn from them what they know. It's not, please teach me how to do this thing. I just like to learn about what you're interested in, how I can use that.
How you can use that. Interesting.
Not against you or anything, just, how can I implement it where I see fit if I need to? It's the reason you learnt it, right? It's helped you. Or
No.
guided you. Surely.
Not
You don't learn
necessarily.
things that aren't useful to you.
Define useful. I've learned how to play every musical instrument I can lay my hands on. Is it
And
useful?
has
That
that
would be
not
questionable.
gained you an audience that you have sitting before you, listening and respecting you? Is that not useful to you?
Beatrix Everly, I could sit in a forest grove with no one around me for 1,000 years, and I would be content.
The forest be content with your company for 1,000 years.
Okay.
DM question also.
Yep.
Did he just use my surname and I didn't tell him what it was?
Yep.
Cool. I go very quiet and stop talking.
As this is going on, you see he's starting to fade slightly. The red of his clothes is becoming sort of more washed out. And you realize that as the sun sets, this man before you seems to be slowly fading away. Perhaps you will return at dawn or dusk, and we can have more conversations. But I'm only here for a short time now. It's been a pleasure. Perhaps I'll see you all again. Or perhaps you'll all just become echoes. Memories lost in time. We shall see. He Cass, roll a d6 for me.
Six.
6.
Mhm.
He takes one of your cookies.
I
and
was going to give him one if he'd given me 2 seconds. Rude.
Too late.
What was that?
I was going to give him one if he'd given me 2
Well,
seconds, but now he's taken it.
you gave him the cookies, remember?
I did.
Yeah.
So he's taken another one.
No. So it's the ones that he's got. So
Oh, okay.
you gave him 2. You gave him one of the special ones and one of the normal ones.
Mhm.
So he takes one of them and takes a big bite out of it. And it is the special one. So what was the special one that you have just fed to this individual, Miera?
Oh
Um,
no.
It was just one of the cassia cookies. So
Oh,
it
no.
just cures all levels of exhaustion.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Now we learn about it, right?
He
Actually did
no.
mention it.
Well,
Go.
To be fair, so
I did bring this up previously.
Yeah.
I'm stirring.
But you
He
didn't
takes-
offer it to anyone.
he takes a bite out of it, looks at you, Miera, and goes, "This is extraordinary. I think maybe another time you and I should make that deal."
Please send me a message.
Maybe. And he turns and he starts to walk away from you all, munching on this cookie as you literally watch as darkness begins to descend and this man just slowly fades away. You guys find yourself now in this small grove surrounded by a bunch of about a dozen fair folk, all just kind of staring at you guys.
Tell your friends if you'd like to hear story from storyteller who is best storyteller that Violet Man has heard in 100 years, or perhaps a cookie from the maker of greatest cookie that Violet Man has been eating. Only small price. Come see us at the outside inn later.
Yeah.
Right now we have to go. We have appointment to keep.
So as you say that, they start to descend on Tiernan. But then as you kind of say, oh, we've got to go, they kind of, you can hear a couple of, oh, and a few of them like, oh my God, guys, we should absolutely go to the outside and later on. Should, yeah. As you guys make your way back away.
I think heading back, Delgrim will kind of lean into Miera. How many of those cookies can you make in, say, like 2 hours?
I can bet a few.
Or even better, what if you write down the version of recipe and just sell those to anyone who happens to come into the place?
Yeah, we could write a recipe. It wouldn't be the recipe, but they wouldn't know that until they make them.
I think they'd be more interested in the cookie, guys.
But the recipe, Wild Man interested in recipes, so it's going to be extra special for them. They're going to be throwing money at us. They might not have a lot because they don't deal in monies here, but that is fine. Surely they got something that we can make use of now that we are destitute.
So with that, you guys make your way back to the outside inn.
Tatiana there?
Well,
So
just on the way,
Yep.
while we're walking back, I would like to tap Delgrim on the shoulder and sort of just gesture him to the back of the group as we're walking along.
Mhm.
Delgrim,
Tiernan.
it doesn't sound as though you have been very forthcoming about the deal that you've made with the Queen.
What do you mean?
Why do you need to renegotiate the deal? What are you not telling us?
It's just useful to be able to get out of terms of deal with a Fae as we're going into Fae Fair, Tiernan. Who knows what kind of traps and deals we might find ourselves facing on way. This is not the only place where Fae exist, and the Fae not bound by these accords are going to be far more difficult to deal with than anything we find here.
So, you offered, so the price for my mother's freedom and the moon is the heart of the song.
I feel like Lestorani is getting better end of this deal. Sounds like it's a very important item to these people.
So that's the entire deal.
There may be other aspects of the deal that have nothing
That's
to
the entire deal, B says, rolling a 25 on perception, as discussed with Hamish. and butting in this moment.
is most important part of deal, Tiernan. Because
It's the entire deal.
yes.
Okay, how you want to roll this? Because I do not believe this is true at all.
Okay, so make an insight check
Yeah.
versus
I guess roll
deception rolls from these two clowns.
Is this going to be the first roll for which I use the Ravensridge Emporium casting dice? I think it is. Let's do it.
I'm just going to roll low
They're
again.
real pretty.
Yep, I rolled low.
How low?
5 total.
How low can you go?
Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
I rolled an 8.
It's not adding up, guys.
Hey, Tiernan has the promise of possibly getting his mother out of this Fae Queen's clutches. Maybe he's a
there
bit
were other
distracted.
ways.
Well, this is the way we're doing.
Tiernan,
with that,
Tiernan
don't
has
you know
two
who he is?
inspiration, just saying.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
you.
with-
Hey, shut up.
I have inspiration, really? I thought I burnt them.
I think my one lasts for about an hour, so
Yeah, but that was not inspiration. That was
it's a
charisma.
charisma check. Would that help?
Insight
with
is wisdom.
perception. Okay.
I did think of that.
So with that, you guys make your way back to the tavern, to the outside inn. Shall we take a small break now?
Yeah, I feel like
Sounds
that's a good time as any.
Okay, we're going to take a small 5-10 minute break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to see whether or not we can get out of the city.
Probably not.
Probably not. We'll find out. Hopefully we can. All right. Hey, thanks very much for hanging out with us, guys. We'll be back in 5 or 10. Stay cool. Or don't.
Stay there. Don't
Or
move.
stay there. Don't
go
move.
anywhere.
No, go stretch your legs. Quickly go stretch your legs. So you can come sit back down later. Like, fine. Just go do a quick lap around the house, whatever.
It's allowed.
Hey, let's roll for dragons. Thanks so much for absolutely coming in and smashing us with the raid. You guys are the absolute best. If you're not already following them, you absolutely should, because they are truly awesome. Another Australian-based outfit, super, super nice, super cool people. But the other ones who are super nice and cool people are the people who have been hanging around with us and spending time here, because time is the most valuable thing you have. So spending it here is awesome. So thank you. We appreciate you. Back to the adventure. The party, having just gone and got a bunch of information from the Violet Man in relation to the heart of the song, now return back to the tavern, and you find the elf, Tatiana, waiting for you. Sitting at a table, she appears to have a couple of friends with her, but she springs up very enthusiastically when she sees you all appear, and comes racing over and says, "Friends, I got a message from Miera. How can I help? What you asked me to come here? What is it that I can do to help you all? I mean, I'm at your service, considering what you've done for me."
We are glad to hear this. We're wondering if you would like to come with us to the Bailey. We are going to point out that there was a situation on the road. And I know this is very delicate subject for you, so I understand if it is difficult, but we will all be there with you. It is essentially, we require a witness to the creature that pursued us on the road to take this to the council.
You see her wince slightly at the mention of the creature that you all encountered on the road, the Duergar. And the initial enthusiasm drains somewhat. But she gives a brief nod, and she says, Oh, I mean, not what I was expecting, but certainly. If I can suggest that we go first thing in the morning, often the council and the chorus are convened there first thing in the morning for any matters, and we can probably find some time to present this to them and see. I hadn't even thought of the breaking of the accords in this. I tried to block it from my memory, but sorry, first thing in the morning, I'm more than happy to come along and be there as a witness.
That seems absolutely fine. Thank you, Tatiana.
Oh, I mean, anything. I mean, I owe you my lives and in many respects my sanity as well. So no, absolutely. I'll see you. I'll meet you here first thing in the morning, and I'll take you down to where the halls are, and we can go from there. With that, keeping the ball rolling forward. Is there anything else?
Just quickly, after she leaves, I think Delgrim will turn to the group. How many lives does she have? We all heard that, right?
Maybe she's like a cat or something.
It's not a tabaxi, though.
It might be a colloquialism like Tiernan keeps saying about something about getting out of Dodge. You know, it's one of those shard folk expressions. Maybe it's an expression where she's from.
It's unimportant. I guess we will be visiting the court in the morning then, yes.
And with that, is there anything? I'm just seeing the chat. God damn it. Street cover. Yes, I am from New Zealand. If you haven't picked it up from my accent.
Hey, what comes
what's
after
it-
5?
What did you just say, Emily?
What comes after 5?
Yeah, the one before 7.
5.5.
Fucking hell.
What about
Yeah.
after that?
5.5. In New Zealand, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get fucked, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I mean, get fucked is the appropriate replacement for that word.
Yeah. So the next morning rolls around, and there's anything anyone in particular wants to do over the course of this evening.
I just wanted to give Grumpfel his diamond, if I may.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So I will just go to Grumpfel and say I wasn't able to get. Oh, he's gone. He doesn't want diamonds, so I guess I'm keeping it for myself. Yay!
No. Oh no, the overlay and everything's broken. Hold on.
Yeah.
Everything
Which way do we
is
go?
broken.
Whoa.
Everything is awesome. So
We lose, I will say.
unfortunately, Grumpfel's really old.
Mm.
Really old.
No!
He's not
I'm
good
kidding.
with
I'm
technology.
kidding.
Old age,
Oh, no.
got him!
No, Heath's machine has just pooped itself, so he will be back momentarily. But whilst we wait for him, is there anything else that anyone wants to do this evening? Otherwise, we'll roll straight into the next day.
Yeah. What I will do is at some point pull Rowan aside if they will allow. And I will not say anything. I will not give too much of an explanation, but I will, if she will allow, put my hand on her shoulder, and a finger to my forehead, and I will think about the village that's stuck in a time loop, and I will think about seeing the people that I cared about either die or worse. And I will pull this memory using encode thoughts from my mind into a violet strand, which I will pop in a small, like, little test tube and hand it to Rowan. And I will just say, some things are worse than death. I think this is important for people to know, and I'm trusting you with this.
So,
It only lasts for 8 hours.
mhm.
So keep hold of it.
Okay. She's going to slip it in the same pocket that her rock lives in, which, like, you will have seen the rock come in and out of. So it's like the important stuff all lives together.
And she will then say, I think the Fey bargains are more dangerous than sometimes we think. And then
Rowan is nodding her head so unbelievably hard. Like,
It
Then just
falls
break
off and
away.
bounces across the room.
then just break away.
Cool. Excellent. Rowan, do you do anything or do you look at that memory?
she doesn't know what it is, which probably doesn't help. Can I, before I like tuck it in my pocket, can I like see if I can figure out what she's just handed me? Because like I've watched her pull a strand out of her brain, which isn't remotely weird. And it'd be like, look after this for the next 8 hours. And she's like, okay. But can she like work out what she thinks it is and if there's anything she has to do with it? Or like...
Well, I mean, B mentioned like memories, so I think it would be fairly obvious that it seems like the physical or the magical embodiment of a memory or something.
Yeah. Gonna put it in her pocket for now and have a little think. She may come back to it in the next 8 hours when everyone else is asleep. Like, yeah.
Okay. All right. With that, then everyone calls it a night. Crawls into their beds at the outside inn. Grumpfel's particularly quiet this evening. He seems a little bit sort of more introspective, spending a bit more time with his book. The next morning rolls around. You all emerge from your slumber. All of the exhaustions and everything is gone now. Rowan, there's probably not a whole lot of time left on this memory.
No. She's gonna like... Hang on. Let me see if I can make this make sense. Trying to work out like what she could... She is trying to work out what she can do to be like, I need to work out what this is.
Yeah.
So she might, because I assume B only needs 4 hours, she's just gonna go up to B a little bit, like partway through the night when she's back and awake. Like, do you want me to look at it or think about it or it's cool? Do I...
You can look at it if you want.
She's very much like, do I pop the thing and put it in my brain? Like, what?
Hamish, what do you do?
Look it up
don't-
like spaghetti.
Hamish, do you shot it? Like, what do you do?
No.
Because I thought you had to. I thought you had
Rack
to have
it up,
encode
baby
thoughts
girl.
to. I thought I had to have encode thoughts to be able to take a memory on board. I don't know if that's
I
right.
did ask
but-
this question of
This-
Hamish, and
I
the
read this-
decision we came up with was that you could look at it. That's a thing.
I read this spell 1,000 times and it hurts my brain.
Yeah,
It's
because it's like casting this spell while holding a thought strand allows you to instantly receive whatever memory idea or message the thought strand contains.
Yeah.
But
So what I sent to Hamish was, I was like, "Hey, can someone like watch it?" He was like, "Look, don't see why not."
cool. If
Well,
you're happy with don't see why not.
I think
pop it
it's
open
kind
and,
of
like, look at it and
I
then be
think
like,
it's-
whoa.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I feel like it's the kind of thing where you would actually have to like hold it like a piece of string, and it would almost be like you would hold each end, and it would be like a circuit as you sort of take each end of this string of arcane thought. It would almost like play out like a little reel in front of you of the memory.
Okay. If that's how you want to do it, I'm going to slightly retcon going to talk to B about it. And she's going to at some point have just like pulled it out and been like waving it around, like, what do I do with this thing? What are you gonna do if you give it a like?
We've all been there, right? I mean,
And then like she'll accidentally read as she'll do it and end up holding both ends, and then realize she can take it on board.
B, did you want to give more information about the memory?
I'm going to let you do it because this was your whole fucking trauma-ass creation, Hamish.
I'm not going to eat it, Promethean.
This is
I'm going to eat the string.
This is the DM having to remember exactly what I had thrown at you at that time. Hold on, let me just see.
It's just the time loop where you
Time Loop Village. Yeah, you ruined my day repeatedly.
I did.
Where people die over and over again, if I remember correct. I've had this much memory of this, but like, yeah. 2 hands, Rowan, 2 hands, yes.
Okay.
Imagine not having notes.
Imagine having so many. Imagine having so many notes.
I'm joking, and the reason I'm joking is because I don't make notes when I DM.
Just gonna point out it's B's fucking memory. Make her do it.
No.
Because I'm a degenerate and benevolent DM.
You're a degenerate?
I'm a degenerate DM.
Legit.
So
I can if you want. I was just being a dick. But you can do it.
What is B's memory of the situation?
You fuck.
Yeah.
I think, particularly in the instance that B is trying to share with you, the thing that you would see is you would see a small little humble village. You would see the form of a woman, for your knowledge, Hamish, is Zostoria. And she would be kind of the words. I feel like B wouldn't remember the specific words. So the words are probably like mumble jumbled, but it would be kind of like she's telling B what to do, sort of thing. And you would watch as they kind of set up this perimeter around this town. And then I think things would kind of start to move in like fast forward, like it all happens really quickly. And what you would see is like this big pool of energy surround this town. And I think that's when it kind of slows back down. And what you would see is someone approaching the boundary of this town and looking at B, and there's like a sense of familiarity, and then they just turn to dust, like in front of her face, like completely almost vaporized. And then you would see almost like Groundhog Day style, the time starts to move really strangely, and it's you can't really tell which direction it is, but there's someone else. And I think that if we were looking through a camera lens, there would be a focus on one person that she just keeps watching kind of move amongst the town, and there's this real sense of importance. And I think the feeling of looking at the person that's been absolutely disintegrated is like a loss and sadness and hurt. But then looking at this other person, that's a lot more painful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it would just kind of all go fuzzy.
Yeah.
So, Rowan, when you're watching that memory unfold, and as Emily very accurately described it, that camera lens sort of focusing around, when you see this individual, this elven woman, white hair, who you hear the mutterings of the word Dystaria, the rock loses its shit in your pocket. Something you have experienced before in this scenario.
This is the problem of not having 3 hands. Hold on. I think she would as it started like getting really hot, she'd end up having to drop the end of the thread to pull the rock out of her pocket and just put it down next to her because she's like, I get it, cool, thank you, like, yep, good. I just have to finish watching this and then we'll talk in a sec. Because like she knows she's halfway through and is just like, I need to get all of this information. And she probably plays it through a few times to try and cement as much of it for herself as possible.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome.
She is not going to talk to B about this until they're next on the road. So this will be a like.
Okay. So the next day, rolls around. You gather up all your gear, meet Tatiana downstairs, and Tatiana takes you to the Bailey, which again is a slightly smaller part of this very large city, which appears to be there's a large, very sort of official looking hall, which she leads you into. And it becomes very apparent that this appears to be like a meeting hall of the council. And you'd heard reference to the Fair Council. When you go into the main hall itself, you see that there are actually effectively like galleries for people to sit in, a central hallway which leads up to two very distinct groupings of seating. One is like a half circle, of which there are, where is it? I think there are 10 seats. And beside that, there is a much smaller circle of chairs, another smaller half circle of which there are 4. And you can see now, within the 10 seats, a collection of very sort of official looking individuals, all non-Fae, all dressed in robes. Again, like looking very sort of like council member-y like. The other 4, you absolutely recognize Lacerania. And there are 3 others. I saw that. There are 3 others there. All from the different courts which make up the chorus in the middle of the city. Now, for the sake of expediency, because we don't want to play out a session of Law and Order here.
Dun dun.
Yeah, bum bum. What are you guys basically doing? Just sort of summarize it for me.
I think it'd just be making a claim that we encountered a Fae who was in breach of the Accords
Mm-hmm.
by
I object.
get your own boat. It's and terrorize people on the Twilight Road, ourselves included.
We would self-defense.
And we successfully put an end to that threat.
Cool. Awesome. Excellent. Tatiana will chime in to give her take on the story. She backs up the facts that you provided. She gives a little bit of information about what happened prior to you guys turning up, although she's very vague about that because it's still something which apparently she is sort of still struggling with. The process seems very straightforward. There is very little argument or debate. Both the Fair Council and the Chorus very quickly come to an agreement that it does sound like this Fae has broken the Accords. However, you bringing them to justice has meant that in this respect, you are to be compensated for that. As they talk about that, though, in front of the 2 areas of the two separate councils, a glowing ball comes into existence, probably about 2 meters in diameter. And somewhat ironically, it is Lacerania who speaks. And you can see, Delgrim, that she's kind of looking at you a little bit.
Delgrim's just like,
And she says, in accordance with the Accords, because you have brought a Fae to justice, or in this case, you have killed the Fae that has broken the Accords, you are to be granted compensation. You may either have 400 gold pieces or a gift from the Fae. It is your choice.
Is that 400 gold pieces each?
There's 400 gold pieces in total.
What's the value of the gift?
She stares at you. You have a choice. 400 gold pieces or a gift from the Fae. Make your choice.
I would say the gift.
do like a huddle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That, well, that's
Yeah,
what I thought we were doing.
Can we have a huddle for a sec? What's the consensus?
Delgrim
Bell.
so disrespectfully turns his back directly on Luciano doing this as well.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
all
but
in
this
like
stage-
a
but-
circle.
Yeah. I feel like gold is probably a good idea. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting very low on my funds currently.
I do we know what
400
this
doesn't seem much.
do we know what this gift is?
Can I just
I
throw something out there? I know that I can locate specific objects if I'm familiar enough with them, right? And so if we're receiving a gift from these people and they are familiar with it, there's an opportunity for them to attempt to try and locate it. And if we don't want to be seen by people, it might be wiser to take something untraceable like gold.
This gift could also be something that's not readily tangible. It could be a favor, it could be information, it could be something that's not material but still
I agree.
holds a value. And if they're offering on the other side of the scale 400 gold, well then this gift I would say would have similar value. So
I think the
I
problem is we won't know until we accept the thing. And if we accept the thing and then it becomes tangible and we can be traced through it, that's problematic.
I will say this, I think we've been on the downside of deals that may or may not have been made here while been here. If we are being offered the gift, which seem entirely legitimate in what appears to be some kind of very strictly law-abiding place, perhaps the worth of that gift will be of similar value, finally in our favor.
isn't that what I just said?
Yes, but I'm just planning through it
Yeah.
and trying to convince myself, Grumpfel, because I
Yeah.
really wanted the gold, but there is
The-
possibility that the gift might be more valuable to us. You're right.
I would say that the willingness to accept a gift from them conveys more than the worth of the gold that's offered instead. We may be insulting to take the gold by not respecting that the gift comes from them.
We do know that it's not something that they value, so
we
that
we
is not
we,
untrue.
we may not get extra, but I feel if we take the gold, we may lose something.
Are we taking the fucking gift
So
instead of the
taking,
gold?
I say gift because we have to split the gold 7 ways because Tatiana was included in this debacle. So realistically, we might get more out of the gift. I'm voting gift.
Gift. Delgrim's vote.
Oh dear. I guess it's going to be a gift, I guess.
I'm not happy about it either, Tiernan.
I just think that it could hold more for us. He will actually Grumpfel will look directly at Delgrim and drop into Undercommon As I say, old boy, this might actually help you in your renegotiation if that's what you're requiring. Harking back to your conversation yesterday.
Replying in Undercommon. Well, you need to stop listening to conversations, old chap. Obviously,
I was long blessed with these. Hang on, I'm dropping back into Grumpfel. Got to keep the undercom. I say, when one is blessed with such hearing accoutrement as I have on the side of my head, then it is very hard not to overhear your conversation.
Well, perhaps you could keep that information to yourself. I don't think necessarily other members of the party would be as appreciative or as discreet of what they might have or have not learned.
Oh, absolutely,
Regardless,
old bean. Oh, absolutely, old bean. I only
A
bring it up.
voice from the chorus.
This is all very, very quiet.
Coming from a very tall and elegant woman dressed in the deepest of greens. One of the chorus that you have not encountered says in a loud voice, "A choice must be made."
we have made our choice, yes.
And what is it that you are choosing? The gift of the Fae or the gold?
I'm asking the huddled group.
Well, I already said, so.
Yeah.
Rowan?
Rowan is happy to go along with everyone else's, like... Enough of you have opinions that she's not talking... We're in the Fae realm. Away.
I just
not
want to not
come
with you anymore.
Okay.
Very
She
good.
doesn't like deal nonsense. This has been well established.
Grumpfel, take it away.
We would be honored to receive such a gift from your good selves.
Then place your hand within the sphere. As she gestures to that glowing orb that has appeared in front of you.
It's intended for all of us or just to Grumpfel?
Just directed at Grumpfel.
Okay. And he puts his hand in.
You wanted the gift.
Grumpfel, can you roll a d12 for me, please? How many fingers have you got? 10?
I can
D10.
I can indeed roll a d12.
Cool. Then roll it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking if I was able to.
Instant death.
I will. We're just never going to get anywhere in this game ever.
D12. What does that one look like again? Oh, 11.
Okay. You place your hand into the sphere and you feel it touch something.
I've seen this movie before.
Feels fairly small, metallic, and as you draw your hand out, you see in it a ring.
Oh.
May the gift of the Fae bless you. Thank you for your service. And with that, you are effectively ushered out.
Thank you, and may your life and calling be long and blessed.
You all get hustled out because you can see there's like a sort of a queue of people. It's your typical kind of morning council in a large city. This is where they deal with a lot of the administrative stuff. So you are hustled fairly quickly out again, and find yourselves now on the side of the road as the city goes about its early morning life. With a ring. Congratulations, you just married the Fae, Grumpfel.
Well done.
Oh, well, this old boy's up for any adventure. Let's go.
Okay.
Is there a honeymoon in the offing?
It's in the divorce you make the real money.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so.
Well, we saw the chorus across the bridge. A divorce could be like diverse.
Shall we investigate said ring?
No, just put it on.
Is it cold iron ham? No.
Tatiana, it has been very nice to know you. We are going to be leaving very shortly. I feel like this is going to be farewell. Unless you hang at the outside inn, we might be there for a few hours just collecting gold from Fae groupies. No reason. It's not important. And I think Delgrim's going to recommend to the group that, yeah, we go grab our stuff and head out towards this Lake of Lost Names. Get out of Wildport.
Okay. You make your way back to the inn. Tiernan, you're saying you wanted to investigate the ring?
If Grumpfel allows me, of course.
Belongs to all of us, so Grumpfel wouldn't have a problem. Tiernan, you wanted to have a look?
Yeah, I'll just have a. I'm just curious on it, really. That's all.
It seems like a comparatively sort of simple gold band.
It's the precious came to me, man. Sorry.
I can't do an Arcana check on it or something like that.
What would an Arcana check? I'm not sure.
It's
What are you
alright,
trying to
just
achieve?
curious. Just trying to see if it has any latent magic energies or something, or if it's just a simple
So
gold
you would
band.
need to cast Detect Magic to do that.
Okay. I will cast Detect Magic then.
Cool.
Do I
Excellent.
still have that in my list? Yes, I do.
Cool. Yes. The ring glows with a magical transmutation energy.
I think it's got some sort of inherent magical spell of transformation, but unless one of us wants to try it, I'm not really too sure.
Transmutation.
Yes. What did I say?
Formation.
Okay. Unless one of us wants to try it, but I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to experiment. In hindsight, we probably should have asked him what does it do.
No, I had intended, but I think we kind of got shown the door rather quickly. I wonder if have they got an information desk around here somewhere?
They seem like
Put
very
it on.
busy people. As are we. Come on, let's go.
So you guys head back to the inn, grab your belongings, and are now planning on heading out of town towards the Lake of Forgotten Names, or Lake of Lost Names, I should say.
Lead the way, Delgrim.
I think we were given instructions by the Violet Man, or it was suggested that we would get them.
Yes.
Excellent.
Through the conversations and stuff, you did get directions.
Nice.
So it is northwards from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Approximately sort of about 3 days travel.
Yeah, excellent. And I think Delgrim's plan would be to stick to the Twilight Road for as long as possible, until the point at which they're going to have to leave and cut off into the Feyfair.
So in that respect, you wouldn't go. Sorry, my map has literally just fucking shit itself.
It's a really weird thing for a map to do.
It is. So by road, it's probably only about half a day because the road effectively only heads more sort of west-northwest rather than north.
Yep.
So you would be heading off the road after about half a day.
Excellent. At which point, I guess Delgrim will kind of pull everyone up and point out, we're about to head into a Feyfair forest. It is going to be dangerous. This is the last chance for anyone to turn back who is not ready for this, but we'll find this lake, this tower of cold iron, retrieve the heart of the song, and then back to Wildport. Does anyone have any concerns or questions or feelings? Rowan.
General suggestion that, like, politeness and kindness is our foremost way of being, and not like asking questions and stuff unless it's directions or whatever. Just because, like, the last thing we want is trouble.
Absolutely agree. And also telling truth apparently was something very important too.
I'm happy if the group is happy to like talk to them sometimes, because I've never had a problem with making someone annoyed.
How do you do that? How do you get to have conversation with these creatures and not get into any kind of trouble? I open my mouth twice, and every time it's end of world.
I don't know. I'm nice and kind
It's
and
called tact.
polite. And I don't know, my mum and dad taught me well. She looks really, she's like, this is very similar to a conversation she's had before in another dimension. Of like, I don't know, I'm just nice to people.
If we find ourselves having conversation with creatures in here, then so be it. Hopefully, we did the kindness for some beings on edge of a road. Maybe that will hold enough weight to help us on this journey.
I
hope
think you
so.
already got repaid for that, so they seem to be on a balancing sort of thing.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're nice once, then people are more likely to think you'll be nice twice. Whereas if you're rude once, they're more likely to think you'll be rude all the time. I don't know. But that was just my thought. Sorry. I'll go back to nodding my head.
It's very good thought and reminder, Rowan. Thank you. I myself could have easily have done or said something that would be very bad if you had not reminded me of this. And Dog will ranger it up out into the fucking forest of death.
You get lost immediately.
You follow.
Rowan will help with this because she does have the wanderer.
Yes, please help him.
She does have the wanderer background, so like, just no.
Wow.
Just like quietly supportive.
Ranger
Not, like,
gets
trying to take over.
Firstly,
But like, she will help.
Hey guys, congratulations! You got out of the city. Well done.
Yeah, but we're going back.
Oh, I've left something behind.
That's another time. So you travel for a couple of hours along the Twilight Road before it veers off more westward, and you take those first uneasy steps into the wilderness and the undergrowth beneath the truly massive trees of Fayfair. You only travel for about 20 minutes before you realize how difficult this journey is going to be. This is a thick, densely wooded area with significant undergrowth. There's fallen trees, there's broken branches, there's all sorts of weeds and foliage that tangles around your feet and your boots as you try and make your way through this dark forest. Now, Delgrim, I know your favorite enemy is Fae, is that correct?
Well, one of them is, yeah, true.
Do you have any other cool ranger shit which helps?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I do.
I have a cool feature called Natural Explorer, which would prevent like this kind of terrain, or my favorite terrain, I guess, from hindering our progress.
So what is
so look, if the Fayfair qualifies as either the Underdark or a swamp, we're great. Otherwise, trudging.
Look, no.
I figured
you take the lead, and quickly discover that this is unlike anything you have encountered before. The darkness caused by the thick canopy of the forest is somewhat comforting. The huge openness that you're used to from traveling above ground is removed. You use very little sight of the actual sky above you guys at this point in time. But it is truly, truly difficult trying to bush bash your way through this space. So, with that, is there anything in particular? How are you approaching traveling through this forest towards the lake?
Carefully.
Yeah, and probably so from Delgrim's perspective, and partially for the sake of the party, partially so as to not accidentally or deliberately fuck with any kind of actual, inhabited areas in here. It'd be the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So they might end up taking more time doing it.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be like hacking up the forest, at the risk of accidentally beheading a sprite or something of that nature. He'll be being careful about it, given where they are.
Okay, cool, perfect. I love it. Now, so Rowan, you were saying you were going to try and help out in some respect.
Oh no, it's just more that like wanderer background. So that idea of like helping pick ways through paths and things,
Yep.
not like I don't have any like skills, but I've got like
You're used
how
to
not to.
you're used to wandering off and exploring and adventuring from
Yeah.
when when you were younger and all that
Small
kind of stuff.
child nonsense in forest nearby so that they didn't get real bored because
Yeah.
everyone in town was real boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Delgrim, I would like you to please make for me once you've regained your composure, a survival check with advantage, since Rowan is helping you.
Why would you think I would need advantage to successfully roll a survival check for Delgrim?
No reason.
Yes.
Fucking. Oh no, nat 20!
Yes!
That's a nat 1 and a nat 20. I was like, fuck. Well,
Well done. We're so proud of you. You did ranger things.
I did a good rangering.
For anyone tuning in,
Amazing.
Good ranger.
That
he has
reaction.
previously not done good ranger things.
Correct.
Look, Delgrim has got a bit of a reputation as being
It's not my part of the world, all right?
It's not. It's not.
Which is
To be
fine.
fair, it's not.
so
Still.
That reaction was beautiful. If this was a sports show, we'd be looking at slow-mo action replay right now.
How much was advantage desperately needed? Probably chat needs to know.
Exactly 19.
yeah. fueled by your desires to achieve the outcomes and help both your fellow companions get what is required for both your journey onwards as well as the happiness of your friend Tiernan. Your determination drives you through this forest on the first day, with Rowan absolutely providing vital assistance, guiding through some of the deeper, thicker parts of the undergrowth, which is kind of ironic because you guys are both short. Fucking hell, you guys are both short.
Words.
Yeah, I can just.
Rowan is good at like figuring out things that are going to hit people in the face and getting them out of the way. That's the don't get taken out by the branch.
I have this vision of Delgrim and Rowan and Blinky coming down to talk to Rowan and going that way. Okay, and he disappears this way and guiding him from up.
So what I need you to do, what I need Cass to do now is, Cass, can you roll me a d20, please?
Do I get to add anything?
Nope.
14.
14. Cool. Thank you very much. For the most part, the day passes uneventfully. There are a few situations where you think you hear stuff off in the distance, whether it's laughter or strange music or sounds that you're just not familiar with or don't seem quite right in a forest, but you never see anything. And as nighttime finally arrives and you settle in for camp, I'm assuming that you're just doing your usual kind of like setup for your watches.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Cool.
which we have established and remember perfectly.
Absolutely. Which
Rowan
I've
is
got-
awake all night. Someone
Yeah.
covers while Bee's asleep. Otherwise, the Rowan and Bee squad.
I also would set up alarm.
Awesome. And for the sake of expediency as well with the ring, someone, probably I'm assuming Tiernan, since it's sort of his jam, spends some time with the ring and identifies that it is a ring of jumping. So whilst you wear the ring, you can cast the jump spell from it as a bonus action.
How many times? Just
Sorry?
is there like a cast limit?
Nope. Bonus action. Boom, done. It does require attunement. So, do with that as you see fit.
Well,
I would inform the party and say, who requires the ability to jump high?
I mean, all of us are short, so lots of us at different times, I'd say.
Well, fight amongst yourselves.
perhaps Grumpfel, you keep hold of it until is required.
Oh, it does
Okay,
require attunement, though, so you won't be able to use it unless you already have attuned.
I was gonna say Grumpfel or the guy that just likes to jump out of the back of carts are probably the two people that I would suggest.
I'm perfectly capable of jumping exactly how far I need to and how high I need to without assistance of stupid magic ring.
Hey,
Okay.
Magic ring's not stupid. We don't
I'm
know
already
if it-
familiar with the
it's
spell, so
smart.
I literally do not require.
Well, if people don't mind me hanging on to it, and it requires attunement. Look, I can use it until something presents itself in the way of someone requiring it other than I.
That sounds
No, I
good to
really
me.
want to see the old gnome jumping really high.
Yes, well,
Rowan,
some
bear in
dude-
mind, Rowan can fly, so
Back in my-
like,
back in my day, people said I was dashing and daring, courageous and caring. So I can, that's a thing.
we're
I
proud of
found
you.
some interesting berries here.
If Tiernan says that, Rowan is immediately going over there to see if she can identify the berry so he does not poison himself.
Delgrim won't. If he poisons himself, so be it. But he will kind of start up next to Miera real quick and just kind of whisper to Miera, next time we are in town, perhaps ask around about how much ring of jumping might be worth.
I was actually thinking we should get a refund.
Maybe not to... I feel like...
We won't take it
would
back to the
be-
court. That would be offensive, but we could certainly
Right.
sell it on. I reckon I could get a good price from that dragon board at Precious Things, because
Mention it a gift from council, it might up price. Who knows?
good plan. I will remember that when we go back. If we
Right.
go back.
Just so I can say the words, Ham. Yeah, Grumpfel will put the ring on or whatever it requires to start the attunement process.
Cool. Sweet. Excellent. You should just better add that to your character sheet without any
Yeah,
issue.
he's now under the spell of servitude or something. What?
Yeah, I'll tell you about the curse later on. That's fine.
So,
So,
Grumpfel, did you add that diamond to your?
No, I'm
Character sheet,
bad
could
at I'm
you
bad
have
at
it?
I'm bad at housekeeping on my sheet, but Hamish and I know what he has and hasn't got.
I'm fairly confident.
I'm terrible.
I'm fairly confident we won't forget about the diamond, but also do please add it to your character sheet.
Yeah.
So, you set up camp for the night. The night also passes uneventfully. Rowan.
Rowan, during the period of time that both Bee and she are sitting up awake, would
Yep.
be asking some questions about a certain string she was given. So
Knock yourselves out.
she would just like plonk herself down because the two of them can do light amounts of stuff that count. Yeah, Emily's like, oh no, I'm on.
No, you told me to knock myself out, so I tried.
Oh yeah, great, good. She's gonna like plonk herself down next to Bee, who's doing whatever Bee is doing in the light.
Sitting there,
chilling.
chilling.
Let's go.
was a scary thing you showed me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, not like if you wanna. There's something you need to know, then sure. But it's easier to show you than talk about it, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, what I couldn't really hear properly, but like, what were you were talking?
She's gonna get her rock out and just like plonk it down in front. You've seen it, but like probably not up close.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets real not happy when that lady gets talked about.
Vestaria.
That one.
It's so the rock. So to clarify, it's not unhappy is possibly not the right.
Unhappy is the word she's using.
That's okay. I
Because
just wanted to clarify.
it gets hot, so it gets like it's happy and chill and like not doing anything, and then it's like it gets very noticeably like present.
Yeah, it gets like hot and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't know anything about your rock.
No, I'm not saying that you do.
Vestaria is really powerful.
Good, powerful, bad, powerful, or like end of world powerful, or like helpful, gonna support everybody powerful, or like maybe stay away from her because it might not be a great idea to piss her off because we've got certain members of the party kind of powerful. Like, where are we at?
Well, she's from the academy.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely not someone I think I should run into again, considering the whole fleeing from the academy thing.
I remember she's the one who was trying to find you, right?
I don't know if she's trying to find me, but she's most likely to be, because she taught me most of what I know. But she's I don't know what end of world powerful is. I don't know, but she knows a lot, and I guess a part of the whole thing that happened is that when it happened, it was just like, well, that went badly. Let's go. Like it was nothing. That's the only measure that I have. Like it took nothing. Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Also, like,
I'm okay.
Oh, the answer. Yeah, I was like, are you okay though?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot to have in your head.
Uh-huh.
Can I inside check whether I actually believe that you're okay? Because this feels very like everything's fine and I'm good.
Go for it.
That is a natural 19, which makes it a dirty 20.
It would be like, I think the sense you get is that like, it's like when a kid is learning to ride a bike and they fall off the bike and it really, really hurts. But they still want to ride the bike. And because riding the bike is cool. And so I think the way that you feel is that similar thing. It's like, yeah, you know what? This really sucked, but no point in not trying to keep going.
Rowan brain. So she hasn't actually dealt with her feelings. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for showing me, I guess.
I just like
Also,
I feel like if anyone could take anything from it that might be useful, I feel like you would maybe the person.
I think she's important. I mean, I know she's important.
Oh, she's important.
Sorry, I mean like important in the sense of like, if my rock is reacting to her existence, then that's important. Not necessarily like powerful king important. You know, like she's important. Can I ask one more probably silly question?
Sure.
Where
where are you? Because she's like, I don't know the name of this town. Like, that's like.
Yeah, I have a feeling I might have said it on a session that you weren't here.
Yeah.
But it's Brasov is the name of the village.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Might do some research about it.
I just hope it teaches you something.
I'm gonna learn something. I don't know if it'll be good. I don't know if it'll be helpful. I'm gonna try and learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that like real, yep, gonna do my best. Energy.
I love that both of our attitude is just like, yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to, check. But you are okay.
Uh-huh.
Also, one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a judgment. This is a question.
Okay.
You were drinking a lot at the bar real fast.
Uh-huh.
Before we left town. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Uh-huh.
But is there anything I should know? Like, you don't have to tell me what it is. But is there anything I should know? Or I should ask someone else about?
I think there's a lot of stuff that we should all know. Just generally, we can never stop learning.
She crosses her arms in a very, like, you know what that question is.
Yep, and she deliberately deflects it. Anyway.
I'm not going to stop asking, right?
Well, I didn't know that until you just said it. But
I'm not going to stop asking.
Great.
So, if you ever decide you want to actually tell me whatever's in your brain, I'm here. I'm also real good at secrets, so there's that.
Cool.
And as she says that, she like gets up and like potters over to her own stuff, picks up the rock.
I think, but like as you're kind of walking away, she would say, "They were like my first ever friends, and probably the only, well, aside from one, but like probably the only friends I've really had."
She's gonna turn.
That's it. That's all. That's all you need to know.
She's gonna turn, look back at you, go like,
"You got new friends now, if you want."
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll keep going. Like it's the sort of look back, past comment, continue on way across to all of her stuff.
The next morning rolls around. A little bit hard to tell when the sun actually rises because of how dark it is in this forest, but you pack up your camp and continue onwards towards this lake. So once again, Delgrim, I need you to make that survival check with advantage, please.
Certainly. Actually really enjoying it in this forest. I don't even need to wear the hat because the trees are so tightly closed in. It feels really nice. The 15, making it 19.
19? Okay, cool. You continue onwards. It is slow going. Slower than you would anticipate traveling sort of distances that you are because of the amount of undergrowth and how thick it is. Grumpfel, can I get you to roll, or just Heath, just to take it away from the character? Heath, can you just roll me a d20, please?
Alright. You. 3.
3? Okay.
Better that now than in combat, but having said that, that could descend us into combat depending on what you're dreaming of.
No. The second day of traveling through the forest again is somewhat uneventful. You've heard all these stories of, don't go into Fayfair and my God, it's it's you're not protected by the Accords and it's dangerous. And so far, there's been nothing. Suggestions of things going on around you, but nothing untoward, nothing strange. And once again, it's night. You set up camp. You get another night's rest. Sun rises the following morning. And you continue onwards to Delgrim.
Mm-hmm.
That's survival check again.
Another 19.
Another 19.
Look at him go! I'm so proud of my
Delgrim.
little guy.
He's rangering and he's rangering
He's rangering
hard.
so good.
Look at him. Look at him.
The little ranger that could.
Right?
It's only taken him 7 levels, right?
But absolutely requiring the advantage.
Weirdly, that's a book we find somewhere along the way. Is like the little ranger that could.
Yeah.
Photo of Delgrim on the front.
Yeah. Delgrim's memoirs. The little ranger that could. Hey, Kate, can you roll me a d20 this time?
9.
9? Okay. John, roll me a d8.
But I don't want to.
No.
Oh, I dropped that one. Didn't need it anyway. 5. You said D8, right?
Mm-hmm. I did. Okay. Mid to late afternoon of yet another seemingly uneventful day. And Delgrim, you're the first to hear it. You feel like you've there's been a couple of times now where you're like, I think I can hear singing or voices, and it's never amounted to anything, but this time you're positive you can hear something. And then Miera, you're like, yeah, I think I can hear something too. And then all of you sort of collectively are like, oh, sounds like some kind of music. I want all of you to please roll a d20. Just a raw d20.
Oh no.
Raw dog that d20.
As you wish, I guess.
Mm.
All right, don't tell me what you've got just yet. I'm gonna. All right. Tiernan, what did he get?
14.
14?
Yeah, the first time I rolled over 10.
Cool.
Well, it's not the first time, but
Delgrim.
13, unlucky for some.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
well,
B.
Vegas doesn't.
19.
19. Okay. Rowan.
14.
14. Miera.
16.
16. And Grumpfel. Can't hear you. I think you might be on mute.
Well, hang on. 9, which is my score, not me politely refusing in German.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay. B.
Yeah?
The singing becomes clearer to you. And as you listen, you're like, that's my mum.
Fucking knew you were going to say that, and I don't know why.
And she's and then you're like, that's, oh God, that's the song that she used to sing me at bedtime. And you have those memories of her sitting on the side of your bed, you all snuggled up under your blanket, the sound of her voice just lulling you off to sleep. And I would like you to please make a wisdom saving throw for me now.
Okay. I think the second I hear it, just so you know, whichever party member is closest to me, I'd just grab their arm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, B would be holding on to whoever's arm is closest to hers. Wisdom save, you say.
Mhm.
Does it by chance, for reasons of my species, involve a charm effect at all?
Not in this situation, no.
Okay, great. Well, the wisdom save is an 18.
An 18.
Whoa.
Who were you grabbing?
Whoever is closest to me. I don't know what the lineup looks like, but I feel like B would have kind of been not at the front, but not at the back. So whoever's kind of closest to me in that instance.
If we're tromping through, I'm probably at the front with Delgrim,
Delgrim.
I would have assumed. So probably, unless it's me, but I don't.
Who's in the rear?
I wouldn't be in the rear.
So probably, let's say it's Miera. That probably makes sense.
I grab Miera.
So Miera, you feel B grab you, and then you almost get pulled to the ground as she just collapses.
Whoa.
The rest of you hear her like this crash as B just falls to the ground.
Are you okay? B, what's going on?
Am I conscious?
Are you conscious? Yeah. Is she conscious?
You look at
Okay,
her.
well, thank you.
You yeah.
Now, crap! I didn't think I was going to need to use that diamond so quickly.
Oh God.
Hey,
Stop. B's down. B's down.
Beast down. You remember that disadvantage on that roll that you had, Emily?
Oh, don't fucking dare. Delgrim.
Yeah, I do, but it's
Turn
the
around.
last one of
It
3.
is. It is. It is. That is very correct. You guys all turn around and you can see B has collapsed amongst the undergrowth. And she appears to be fast asleep.
I'm gonna tap her cheeks, like little slaps.
Can I specify? Am I actually asleep?
Yeah, would this be magical sleep?
Actually, no,
Hamish?
never mind. Do you
It
know
could be a
what?
snorer.
Fuck that. You would tell me. You're a good DM.
She appears, from what you can tell,
Mm.
she looks like she's asleep.
Delgrim will also start slapping B on the side of the face a little bit.
I'll do
attempting
that.
to wake her up. They
I'll do
don't
the
go to
trick.
sleep. What is happening here?
Do the trick where you hold their nose and you cover their mouth, and that shocks them awake.
Okay.
Again, I didn't think I was going to need to use a diamond so quickly.
Can we just check to see if she's actually breathing first?
I mean, she's asleep,
Okay.
so
That seems like
Okay.
a good idea.
yeah.
So
Grumpf-
she's breathing. Like you can see her chest rising and falling, and that very slow rhythmic nature of someone who's in a very deep sleep.
Grumpfel, what is this?
Oh, let's have the person with the medicine come and have a look and a check.
This sounds like it would be a perfectly good distraction, though. I just start looking around.
Yeah, at which point, as soon as Tiernan mentions that, kind of Delgrim will switch back to himself and draw the axe.
Tiernan and Delgrim, both of you, please make perception checks. Grumpfel, if you want to make a medicine check, that'll be fine.
Cool. Oh, that is 15 plus 7 is 22.
Okay, I'll tell you what that means in just a minute.
Mm.
Delgrim, Tiernan, what do you guys get?
9.
18.
18. Okay. You both start scanning through the forest, like peering out, intently trying to focus on what's going on. What's Rowan doing?
Rowan is gonna get a little rock out of her pocket, and if she can get close enough to do this, like plonk it in the middle of like B's chest, and say, this name is dropping out of my head. The
Yeah.
name of the person who makes the rock get real hot and annoying.
Yeah, Dastaria.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I I keep going to say diphtheria, and I know it's not that. And that's why I'm like,
You're
no,
giving
hold
diphtheria
on. I
to
need,
a thief.
I mean,
I need to get
it's
this
also
right.
a bad thing.
Okay, so Grumpfel, so you do that, and the the rock appears to do what the rock does.
Yeah.
B seems like in a very deep sleep.
She'd try this for like a minute, and then she'd
Yep.
pick the rock back up and like.
And also, like Grumpfel for you, like B, like she seems perfectly fine. Like you can't see any injuries. The breathing is fine. She seems in perfect health. She just seems to be completely asleep. Delgrim, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Another?
Yep. Well, no, this is not another. You haven't made a wisdom saving throw yet, my friend.
I know it was perception, you're right.
It was.
Ooh, 19, making that a dirty 20.
Hey. Tiernan, you're looking around, you're trying to, you can't see anything, but Delgrim, with your finely tuned ranger senses, you hear the music, but this time for you, it's actually I want to invite you into a part of this. Like for Delgrim, when he was like baby Delgrim, kind of like baby, like sort of like Muppet babies, like
Where
what-
spider milk? Spider milk.
what
The spider milk
kind of-
sings.
what kind of music or singing would have lulled Delgrim to sleep?
Ironically, a advertising jingle for Spider Milk. No, it would be.
Spider milk. Spider milk.
I think as miners, the inhabitants of Narvalorge there'd be quite commonly sets of songs kind of coming up out of assorted tunnels at any given time. So I think it would be a combination of these kind of echoed, working songs sung by folk taking truly such precious gems from the bowels of the earth.
That music just floods your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And for the briefest of moments, you struggle to stay awake. Like your eyes feel heavy. You feel your limbs just go limp. But you're able to just barely shrug that off and maintain consciousness. Although you sort of have to lean up against a tree to sort of maintain your focus and stay upright.
Okay, I think Delgrim's gonna sheath or hook the axe, and then kind of stumble then a little bit out of it still over to B, and he's going to just kind of tear at any part of kind of loose clothing, I guess, on her person, stick it into his mouth to wetten it up real good, and kind of make it as dense as possible, and just stick some of this cloth into both of her ears.
Okay.
In the hope that if this is associated with the music, that not being able to hear it maybe might be of some assistance.
Oh, you do that. And she stays fast asleep.
You'll slap her again one more time. Just
I'd like to activate Blinky if I could.
Yep.
Do I take any hit point damage from being absolutely fucking smacked
it's a
repeatedly?
wake up slap.
You should definitely take some for the wet willy. He literally just gave
Yeah,
him
what the
both
fuck?
ears.
Two wet willies.
Psychological damage.
That's gonna say psychological.
There's like
That's the-
people doing
Yeah.
this to me. There's people shoving shit in my ears. Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
Literal shit. That's unfortunate for you.
So, your companion B lies fast asleep at your feet. What are you guys doing?
Guess one of us is gonna have to carry her.
With that check, from medicine check, nothing's wrong. So that makes me think that this is some sort of magical thing.
Tiernan has good idea. If if the Fae of this area are territorial, someone grab B, we go as quickly as we can. We get out of this area. Maybe we past them and B wake up and everything fine. If not, if B still not awake in a few hours, then we discuss who gets to keep our stuff.
Wow. Who's
And
carrying-
Delgrim will shoulder B.
Okay.
I just pointed out that if Delgrim's shouldering B, is B's head still hitting the ground?
You're pretty
Dare
sure.
you?
Yeah.
He would be making sure that only. Actually, no, he'd have her over both shoulders.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, when you say shoulder, that implies. I was
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
sounds
Can
like
you
me.
just
Look,
bring
not
the
the same
carry
dragging
me?
through the dirt.
Jeez.
No,
Shouldn't our
we're
tallest
navigating.
party member be carrying our second tallest party member? Just
That
saying.
didn't
Our
get a
s-
chance.
Our strongest party member should be carrying an incapacitated
I also need to
party
point
member.
out, I'm not like I'm only tall in the grand scheme of the party. I'm not tall.
True.
But also,
Yeah.
the rest of us are short, and if
Oh,
you,
no,
as
I
a
get
short
that.
person, over shoulder
Yeah.
one person, your
You're
head's still
No,
going.
I get that. I just want to
Yeah.
point out I'm not like fucking 6'5". Like
And
No.
anyway, Delgrim's
No.
stubby little legs will start kind of going through the fucking scrub as quickly as possible.
And
Use the
everybody
direction
gets 10 temporary hit points from
Okay. From Blinky.
Blinky.
Okay.
Blinky will be up for an hour.
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah. Go Blinky. You continue onwards through the forest, slower again, with Delgrim having to try and carry B. And I'm actually going to get you, Delgrim, to make another survival check now, but this time it's just going to be flat.
Which means we better go to the chonk, I guess. Hey, do you know who has some really
you could
cool
just
dice?
hand her off to somebody.
No, it's fine. I've been on a roll, so I'm feeling
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know who has really cool dice? Meeples and Dragons. Meeplesanddragons.com.au. Check them out. Oh, fuck.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah, can't say I didn't see that coming.
wow.
Look, all up, that's a 9.
Inspiration.
Yeah, but what did you roll? Did you roll in that one?
I rolled a 5.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, cool. You rolled a 9.
Hey, the dice are still good, and you should still spam the website and buy all the things.
Okay. John, roll a d6 for me. And you're
I
on
don't
mute.
want to. I don't want to. 1?
1. Okay. About 45 minutes after picking up B, you guys are making your way through this undergrowth. It is particularly dense here. And Delgrim, you're pushing through the undergrowth and you go to put your foot down and there is nothing there. As you and B plunge off the side of a cliff. The rest of you guys see as Delgrim's like pushing through some undergrowth. So if you've ever been out in the bush in a thick forest, there are just giant drops in the ground which can be very easily missed. So, Delgrim, I need you to please make for me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
B, you automatically fail.
That's fine. I
Could you
assumed
wake
that-
up already, please? That'd be great.
Oh, what do I look like? The DM?
Wow.
Dex saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a 9.
Okay.
Also rolling a 5.
You guys plunge 30 feet, crashing and smashing, B flying off your shoulders.
Do we see
You-
this at all?
You guys just see him literally vanish through some bushes, and you'd expect him to still be going, and gone.
Is he quiet when he does this? Like,
Hamish, I'm just gonna DM you a thing real quick.
Cool. So both of you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
How? Actually,
Hey, thanks for that. Those temporary hit points, John. That was real helpful.
how long after Blinky popped up?
Which is why I said 45 minutes.
Oh,
Which is why I asked you to roll the d6.
The funny thing is, I don't think that's. Yeah, I think. Don't worry, it's all right. We'll have a talk later about that.
Where does
What was the
Delgrim land?
damage again? Sorry.
12.
12. Although someone has just pointed out potentially, let me just check something.
No, I was reading it incorrectly. It's fine.
Okay.
Unless this is considered an attack. And if
No,
that's the
it's
case.
not.
Yeah, great. The Earth's not attacking me. That's good to know.
Not yet.
So B is gone. You're not even sure where she is. She's tumbled off your shoulders as you've gone over the edge. And the rest of you guys, you just see them vanish and a cry out from at least the ranger, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, there'd definitely be some kind of Delgrim flavored noise.
Delgrim flavored noise. Amazing.
The Looney Tunes.
I guess we rush over to the edge to see what happened.
And you can see right where the bushes where Delgrim was pushing through, there was an earthen sort of lip before a little cliff, and he'd just put his foot just on that soft edge, and it had just crumbled underneath, and he had gone head over B down the side. And you can see. Actually, make a perception check for me, Tiernan.
Why do you torment me so?
It's a dice
14.
game.
It's actually
14.
14. I heard you roll a 15.
Yeah, 14. Cool. You can see Delgrim and B. Delgrim dusting himself off. B just like in a crumpled mess in amongst some foliage.
So this is like just an entire cliff.
Yeah, so it's about 30 feet down, 30, 40 feet down.
So, in order to continue our journey to the Lake of Lost Names, will we need to continue in the direction, regardless of the velocity in which I found ourselves? Am I still on the right track?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
do we need to backtrack?
You were still effectively heading in the right direction.
Perfect, great.
It was just more your ability to safely navigate through the terrain.
Watch your step. It's a very long drop, very painful. And Delgrim will reacquire B.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Are you? Yes. Are you in need of assistance? Bones, blood. Everyone's okay.
Off a cliff.
I don't know what you're talking about. None of you saw anything. I'm fine. And again, we'll trudge over to B and re-shoulder her.
I love
You coming down or not?
Completely avoidable accident is being sold as a benefit to the team.
Rowan's gonna, because she would have been right behind Delgrim, drop to her knees and feel her way forwards with her hands to find the edge.
Yeah.
So that, and she's gonna sit basically with her feet off the edge.
Yeah.
So that everyone else can see where that is.
Yeah.
Is there a clearly marked pathway down with a little wooden sign that says this way?
No, but the where Rowan goes to is there's quite a clearly marked Delgrim hole through the undergrowth where he's kind of gone through.
The silhouette of Delgrim shape, B shape.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there is it
Does
nearby
anyone need
trees
help down?
that we can tie a rope to or something?
Yeah, look, it's very easy for you guys with the amount of trees and stuff to secure a rope, be able to climb down. That's now that you're aware that it's there, it's super easy to make your way down.
And I think while this is happening, and so 45 minutes of travel and B still hasn't woken, yeah?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, Delgrim's getting a little bit worried, and he's going to cast on her, just in case this is of any use to her, protection from evil and good.
Okay.
In the hope that if this is some kind of recoverable effect, that will be of assistance to B in recovering from it. And so, can Delgrim still hear the music himself?
Which
Okay.
creatures is she protected against?
Faye.
Yeah, I assumed, but I just wanted like
I think it applies to all. I don't think it's a choice.
against certain certain types. Yeah,
Yeah. So all of those
all
named
of those.
Yep.
in the spell.
Cool. So, dusting yourself off, wiping away some of the blood, you all continue onwards on the trek. Getting through the rest of the day uneventfully, setting up camp. Again, with the evening, is there anything anyone is wanting to do?
Yeah, I'd love to. Oh wait.
Rowan, when she's on watch, is basically going to set herself up next to B.
Yeah.
Like as though she sat herself down next to her, but like it would be normal. But she knows it's not normal.
And,
She's trying to make it as normal as possible for herself.
and Delgrim would probably set himself. It's almost like a little vigil, like he's just refusing to take his kind of eyes off her, making sure she's still alive and waiting for any sign of something that can be done about this state of being.
Delgrim, make sure you get some sleep. I've done vigil over Miera. I can do vigil here too. I've had practice.
That is fine. I
I'll
think
wake you up. I promise.
I'll sleep very close to here, and if anything changes, you hear anything, you wake me immediately. Yes, Rowan?
I know. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do anything, so I'd wake you, and if I couldn't wake you for some reason, I'd wake Grumpfel.
You mean not to do anything? You sell yourself under. This is
No,
absolutely
I
not
mean
true.
in terms of like stuff that would help. I don't think I've got that on deck.
Brown, again, one day we're going to need to have a conversation about how valuable you are to yourself. You're far more capable than you think.
Is the time for hyping me. I think the time right now is for you to sleep and me to keep vigil like a good little me.
Very well. And Delgrim will kind of get ready to kind of pack down. It will be very, almost uncomfortably close to B and Rowan. And he will just give B like one last little set of slaps on the face just before going down to sleep, just to see if there's any kind of response.
Hey, Ham, what is B dreaming about? I'm just genuinely curious.
What is B dreaming about? What is
Yeah.
B dreaming about?
I've wrote in the chat, sparkle cookies.
Not
Well,
being slapped.
I could find out. Would I be able to use detect thoughts on B and just see if I can wheedle in there and maybe pull her out?
I don't think, because you're not consciously thinking. Like, if you were to do that, you would need to
go deep.
Fuck. Yeah, you'd need to go deep.
Cool.
I don't know how that would work, but look, it's up to you if you wanna give it a try.
Well, she is a drow, so go deep.
If there's another spell that very specifically allows you to see the dreams that someone's having, I
But
guess
dreams
it would
are
work.
thoughts, right?
More so that
Just
if there's a
subconscious ones.
Yeah, but more so if there's a specific spell that has that as a thing, then it's
Isn't
probably going to
detect
play out
thought only read
differently.
surface thoughts anyway?
You can go
do both.
deeper.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, there is the dream spell, but that's more about shaping their dreams. than it
Correct.
is about,
That's manipulating the dream, I think.
yeah.
Is there anything about ending a dream spell?
Look, let's Miera, what do you want to do? What do you want to try?
I could give it a try.
Yep.
And just see if I don't know. I can't really implant any thoughts or anything like that. So I mean, the best I could probably get out of is just like her emotional state
Well,
might not be of
I have
any
a-
use.
Don't you know a spell similar to that causes a similar state?
Oh, sleep. Well, yeah, but
How do you know? Do you know
don't.
how
I forgot it. I don't have it anymore.
Wait, really?
So, do you want to try detect thoughts, Miera?
Sure.
Okay. And are you going to probe deep.
Yes, I will because, and I think, I don't know, the last time I used it, it kind of hurt B, so maybe it will hurt her enough to wake her up,
Yeah, great idea.
potentially.
It's like slapping her, but from the
But
inside of her
inside,
head.
yeah.
Yeah, good thinking.
All right. You go about weaving your magic as you do. That tendrils of that psychic arcane energy which you can manipulate. And you sink into B's mind. The surface, there's nothing. It's almost like the surface of a pond. It's clear. There's no ripples. There's nothing. You plunge beneath the surface. And to start off with, it's just darkness. And then you hear laughter. And it's that laughter of small children just having fun. And you see from from obviously B's perspective, people that you recognize her parents because you've seen them. And they're by a small river. And you can see that it's the perspective of B. And she's obviously running. And you can see imagine it's from exactly her point of view. And her like looking over her shoulder, and you can see that it's one of her siblings or something, and they're chasing her. But there's that laughter, that pure laughter of kids just having fun. B races around a tree, and you see her like from that point of view racing towards her parents and literally like throwing herself at her dad, who catches her and just holds her up high and sort of twirls her around. He's smiling and laughing. You can hear B laughing as you find yourself in one of those warm childhood treasured memories. It swirls slightly and it darkens, and then your mind slips back out.
Well, I mean, she's having nice dreams. Like wherever she is, she's having a good time. It's not anything threatening or anything like that. And she hasn't got any blood or anything like trickling out of her nose or anything like that to suggest that I've done damage out of her ear. Anything that would suggest that I have hurt her in any way.
She seems fine.
I mean, all I could see is her chasing after her parents or her siblings chasing her, and there's lots of laughter, and it all seems really happy, and nothing that would suggest anything about her current condition, unfortunately.
I'm hoping it's just cruel prank by whatever the creature out there has done this to her. And perhaps by morning it will have lifted and B will come back to us.
I have a thought. I might just try something. I'd like to use my magical tinkering to create, to turn those ball bearings into to create the scent of smelling salts
Mhm.
and just wave it under B's nose.
Cool. You wave it under B's nose, but nothing.
No effect.
Yep.
I mean, how long have we been walking in this forest? I'm pretty
Mm.
sure we are probably all walking, smelling salts at this point.
So, with that, another uneventful night passes. It's the beginning of the 4th day now. The travel going slower. And as you rouse from the morning, B is still fast asleep.
I might cast Detect Magic on her.
Delgrim, I think, will be up particularly early. And if B's still asleep, and unable to be roused, he's gonna go and try and find any creatures in the immediate vicinity that might be watching this little bullshittery play out.
Okay. I always need to have a look at Detect Magic. Actually, Detect Magic. Hold on. So Delgrim, if you're going searching for stuff, make a perception check for me, please.
Mm-hmm.
What's everybody else doing?
Could I try sending a message to B using sending?
Yeah, you certainly can.
So I would just say, hey B, if you can hear this, can you wake up or move your hand or something? It's Miera. You can reply to this message.
Nothing. Tiernan, your Detect Magic, there is certainly some kind of magic aura emanating from B, some kind of enchantment. Delgrim, what was your perception check?
So I rolled a 4, but I'm going to make a pitch that this should actually be a survival check on which I should have advantage because of the favored enemy feature and its specific description.
I'll
I
allow
am
it.
trying to track any
Yeah.
Fae in the area.
I will absolutely allow it.
That makes it better, but still not great. So 13, 17.
17. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Grumpfel is going to wander over to where B is, sit down,
Mhm.
read her a bedtime story. Just kidding. No, he is going to. All right, I will try something here. Holds on to his holy symbol of Kamateon and says, "Kamateon, hear my need. This is a new situation, and I would like to dispel that which ails my friend." And he casts Dispel Magic.
Fuck yes.
Okay. Let's have a look at the Dispel Magic spell. Choose one creature to any of the... Okay, I would like you to make so basically make like a spell attack roll. So sorry, roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
Alrighty, here we go. Oh, shit! Where did I put Le Chonk? Oh, hang on, there it is. $15 plus spell attack plus 7 is 22. Thanking you.
Okay, cool, awesome.
And all the stuff just fell off the chair sitting next to me where I pulled the chunk out from it. Great. I'll deal with that later.
Chunk.
All praise to the chunk. I mean, to Kamateon.
B.
The chunkiest of Kamateons.
Hey Hamish, how are you this fine evening?
I'm good. I'd like to point out for my players, if you'd like to have a look at the Zoom name that I now have.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
For
did
those
see
who
that.
can't see it, it's
Harsh.
1 down, 5 to go.
Jesus.
Oh, B. It's been fun.
It has
Being
been.
fun.
You're applying the policy last in, first out, are we, Ham?
B.
Hi. Hey.
This whole time,
Uh-huh.
you have been having the most amazing sleep. The dream.
Do I level up?
You get 5 levels. You're now level like 100. You have been having just those the nicest dreams. This has been, up until this moment, a truly wonderful sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is like someone has got a bucket of ice water and dumped it over your face. The shock of waking up would physically cause you to gasp out loud. It's like it's that combination of the shock of suddenly being awake, but also being torn away from dreams which are just so warm and comforting. You know how when you have those amazing dreams and all
Oh
you
yeah, I
want
know
to do
exactly
is-
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you want to know something crazy? This actually happened to me last night.
Wow.
Really good
Look.
dreams, and then someone didn't actually wake me up, but I dreamed that someone woke me up, and it woke me up.
The worst.
The shock from this awakening, as you start and you can see Grumpfel over you, and just that sense that passes through you leaves you shocked to your very core. And until you have your next long rest, you are at disadvantage on every skill check you take.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Yep.
Question number 1, did I have what was considered a long rest at all?
No.
We would have before you fell asleep, there would have been long rests in that time.
Yeah, but I've been dropped since then.
So no.
Or I fell down a fucking hole that I didn't have any. Yeah.
But remember, you did have 10 temp hit points from Tiernan, so you would have only lost 2 hit points.
Oh, okay, great. I'll fix that shortly.
Yep.
I already had damage taken from me. Oh no, I've healed that. Never mind.
Yep.
Stop listening to me.
Okay.
Number 2, I guess less of a question, more of like a if this is what's happening, a lot of Bee's upbringing was magical based, right?
Mhm.
But her and her dad were really the only magical people in the family.
Mhm.
The rest of the family were really well combat trained and martially trained. And at risk of being a jerk, I feel like if this is the way I'm waking up, the first thing I'm gonna do is just throw a hit at whatever is in front of me.
Which I fucking love it. I am
Yeah.
here for this.
Because if I am like gasping in a breath, like I am being awoken violently by something, like it's defense mechanism smack.
So make an attack roll against Grumpfel.
The good news is that my strength is 0, so it will be 0 damage whether I hit or not, unless you want to overrule that as the DM. Oh my god. Okay. It's a 22 to hit.
22.
It's technically 0 on an unarmed strike, but hey,
No,
you do
but
you
is
but
it
it
do.
does
plus,
get
plus
sneak attack.
proficiency?
Huh?
Sneak
Hold
attack.
on.
Plus-
No, it's not sneak attack. No.
And proficiency, I don't like.
No.
It says my damage is 0, so.
Yeah.
So
Good.
it hits and it
just-
hurts,
so-
but it does no damage.
So Grumpfel, this would just catch you completely by surprise, as
Nose punch.
you cast this magic, and you can feel it coursing through B, and you watch your eyes fly open, and she just clocks you. It's almost like a glancing blow in some respects across the cheek. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, because an unarmed strike is always 1 plus your strength modifier. Before she realizes, like, before B, you realize what is going on.
Called Sacred Flame. No, just kidding. Ow, my dear, you're awake.
Whoa, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
That's okay. I'm just glad that
be
worked.
gentler next time. You literally scared the shit out of, well, not literally, but you scared the shit out of me.
He didn't do anything.
To be fair, you scared us. You have been asleep for a day and a
2
half.
days.
Yeah, 2 days was going to be the day that we wanted to bring you back to us.
Do I take psychic damage?
No, I think Grumpfel just died. That's fine.
By now, I should have realized somehow that
No,
dispel
stop,
magic was
stop
the
it,
thing to do.
Stop it. Stop it.
Copyright issues, quick, stop.
Don't make me come down there.
Oh, dear,
a day and a half, that... Why am I so sore?
You got dropped down a hill.
You fell down a cliff.
Hey, I'd like to point out that it was completely accidental and not my fault.
We needed to get a rope down a cliff, so
Just wrapped a rope around me and threw me.
Rowan is just gonna be like,
You were being carried, and then there was no ground, and so you and them fell. So
I was having really nice dreams.
Oh, then I'm sorry to have done that too. But
No. It's if I've been a day and a half.
Yes. We tried a few different ways to awaken you. I used some of my healing skill to assess that it was magical, and I needed a day to rearrange some of my magical abilities to try something different, and it worked.
Well, who knows how long I could have slept for, I guess. So maybe I owe you thanks. Thanks for
My pleasure. I'm sorry that I it took you away from a pleasant dream by the sound of it.
That's okay. I can have nice dreams another time, I guess. Thanks for mostly taking care of me also. She looks at everyone in this moment. Mostly taking care of me while I was asleep. You could have just left me, and you didn't, so thanks.
Rowan's just gonna look at you and mouth the word friends to back up the comment that she'd given you a couple of nights before about how there are friends if you want them.
Thanks.
So with your companion B now finally awake, you all gather your
Level up?
Yeah, you all level. No, you fucking hell. You continue onwards, and after about another half day's travel, ahead of you, the forest begins to thin out. You can see the sunlight high above, and as you emerge from the trees, you can see ahead of you a truly enormous lake. The water is dark and still. And you can see scattered throughout it what appear to be small, tiny little sort of islands pocketed here and there. Not many, but just sort of in random spots. And far off, probably a good half mile across this lake, you can see in the distance what appears to be an island towards the middle of it, and the top of a tower barely visible above some small trees that appear to also be located on said island. As you now find yourselves on the edge of the Lake of Lost Names. And that is where we're going to wrap it up for tonight.
And level up.
Are we wrapping it there specifically just because you're scared of us trying to find and get into a boat?
No,
Yeah,
not
look,
this
because I
again.
need to plan at least 12 hours worth of content for the.
Oh, see, this is like
For the entry into the boat.
so almost immediately Rowan casts polymorph on somebody just to be like, no, no boat
Yeah.
tactics.
Hey, fuck off, get your own boat.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Nice.
To be
Hey,
fair, you wouldn't have to write anything, Ham. Put a boat there. It writes itself.
well, look, that's just it. Like, if I find that I'm struggling with content, then that's absolutely what I'll do. I'll just go like, it's a boat. That's fine. So, as always, we like to wrap up these little sessions with favorite moments. I'm also conscious that we've got a couple of people in the cast who are on the verge of collapsing due to fatigue. So, let's just do a very quick whip around of favorite moments. Who would like to kick us off?
I will. My favourite was Grumpfel working out what would actually help in that situation with Bee being asleep. I thought that was very clever.
It wasn't his rendition of Wonderwall, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Hey, look, I'm gonna jump in here because I don't often jump in early, but I'm going to because I want to. Miera and the Detect Thoughts. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was quite a clever little thing to do. I thought that was super cool.
Can I take? I'm going to extract a brain noodle and gift it to somebody else, please.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
I prefer the term brain ramen.
Thank you.
Brain
Sorry.
I guess I'm gonna take the no, I've got this, and proceed to fall off a cliff with Bee in his arms.
Yes.
Hey, my favorite moment was Ham messaging me saying, if they had to let you wake up eventually, you would have gotten inspiration.
And I'll also self-burn myself with not being able to remember Destaria's name.
Yeah. Legit.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Diphtheria.
I don't have any favorite moments. They're all terrible. No, I enjoyed like the group huddle and when we were offered the choice between gold and a gift. Do I wish we'd taken the gold? Maybe. But, like, we spent so much money in that fucking town and I hate that. But also I enjoyed that whole bit. I thought that was fun to have a muck around with.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else to anyone?
You can change your name in Skype in
Yeah,
the
sure.
chat now. Sir. Ineffectual once again.
Speaking of names, also the Violet Man, that was sick. Yeah. That whole character and like the cool little lore drops and stuff, that was super cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Next time, sing the poem, you coward.
Poems don't have to be sung though. That would be a song. If I said he had a song, I would have written.
You don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
But you didn't recite it to us either, to be fair.
No, I didn't. And that I will happily go, sure, absolutely. But I'm not going to sing a poem. I'm going to sing a song, and I'll recite a poem.
Speak rhythmically speak your poem.
Make
At
it
what point
slam
you want-
poetry.
Yeah, slam poetry.
I was going to say, you want me to rap now? That's not. No one.
Oh, yes.
No one.
Yes.
I'm like, so you do realize now the next encounter is going to be a bunch of rapping pixies. And it's going to be.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it because you have to do the voices.
Yeah.
I'll introduce him to a song called Thunderwave.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Thunderwave.
Anyway, here's Thunderwave.
Yeah.
Good god.
Cool. Hey, look, we will be back in a fortnight. Same Meeples time, same Meeples channel. And we're going to see how are they going to get across the lake? What's in the tower? What is the heart of the song? How will they find it? What's going to happen? And boat.
Right.
Bert.
Yeah.
We
Level up.
polymorph Delgrim into a boat.
So as always, for those of you who have hung out with us all night, thank you so much for actually spending time with us. I hope you're enjoying watching this little game with us. Thank you for spending your time with us. We super appreciate it. I think we've got a plan. I think Heath, you've got a target for us raiding out.
Oh yes, sorry. Oh, now I've only just seen Saz's message. Cool.
Yes.
Yes. So raid. Lord Gosumba is a friend of mine, Jay, in the US. Now, I thought they were playing some Greyhawk when I went in to have a look at the description, but it looks like it's a replay of a panel from GaryCon from last weekend, where he's interviewing Anna Meyer, who's a ex, I think she's German, lives in the US now, mapping, game design, brilliant. But he has old school D&D royalty that is Ed Greenwood. So
Oh, wow.
literally, this guy is Elmminster.
Mhm.
So they're talking in a panel. So I thought that would be really
I'll do
cool.
it.
Yeah, rock on.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Awesome. All right, let's go check that out. And yeah, if you're not back here in 2 weeks' time, I guess you're not, but it'd be really cool if you were,
Get wrecked.
because we
Would.
like
Yeah.
you.
Don't actually get wrecked. That's terrible.
Don't get wrecked.
Yeah.
Get
Get unwrecked.
Do
Don't
some,
get,
satisfied.
do some self-care and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks' time.
don't get carried by the ranger.
Ideally.
He'll just drop you off a cliff.
Wow.